Welcome to the Ledger Lounge. This is Oz the Crypto Goat, and we are talking about XRP. And thank you to everyone all around the world that's watching. We will be live Monday through Thursday from 12 p.m. Pacific time till 5 p.m. Pacific time. And on Friday, we will be live 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific time. And those hours are subject to change. Henry, thank you for the lightning bolts. 2 lightning bolts. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. We are on TikTok as of right now. However, we are migrating over to Twitch. So you can find us on Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lowercases, no spaces. Trukium? What is that? What fake news? But yeah, just so you know, guys, if you do miss a show, as of probably today or tomorrow, we will have all the shows recorded and posted to YouTube. So you guys can go to YouTube and catch the show if you missed it. You won't be allowed to chat along, but you'll be able to listen, and you can go back and ask any questions and send me a whisper or send me a chat on TikTok. But remember, in order to ask questions, you must be a subscriber on TikTok, guys. That's the deluxe subscription on TikTok. There is no ETF for XRP. It's fake news. It's fake news. XRP didn't get any ETF. It is still illegal for XRP to have an ETF. The Ripple case has not been settled. Even if the injunction is removed, the law is still in place, which Ripple broke. Yes, XXRP. XXRP got the ETF. XRP does not have an ETF. Ripple broke the law by selling XRP to financial investors and or institutional investors, if you will. And even if the injunction is removed, then it's still illegal. It doesn't mean anything. The only thing that will change that rhetoric, ladies and gentlemen, is the one and only thing. That would be re-regulation. Regulation changing the rules. Are we still going down to 126? Yeah. I think, 130... maybe even 140 to 120 is in the wheelhouse. And as we start to move over the next week or two, those price points will become more accurate. It took a month for 163 price point to mature. So mind you, we did hit it dead on at 163. But make sure you're watching over the next, couple days. However, big baller, listen up. There is a possibility, and this weekend will tell. If we get a sell-off and it drops us down below 180, then we'll break structure. But, and we should break structure and move down. That would be the normal, sane thing that would happen. However, lately I've been factoring in moon cheese, which is when they tell people that the moon is made of cheese. We could be forming an inverted head and shoulders here. What's up, Zodiac? So mind you, we could go all the way back up to probably 234, 235, 230 at the lowest, and we would have an inverted head and shoulders here. And mind you, it's very common. Okay, the charts say yes, but the news says no. Okay, we had a head and shoulders here. Okay, it's very common to see a head and shoulders followed by an inverted head and shoulders. So basically, we need to pump to like 210, 220. And we're coming into the weekend. So if we get the weekend sell off, as long as we hold like 190, I would say we're still in structure. But if we break, past 180, I would say it's a broken structure. And we're not going to head and shoulders, or it will, go down and keep going. Should you get in? No, we are consolidating. Okay. Anytime the markets are consolidating, you should not be buying or selling. That is just, and this is not financial advice. This is just basic trading skills, guys. Anytime in consolidation, you don't buy or sell. You wait for a breakout. What do I mean by Sunday or today? So Sunday, we usually get the sell-off. The weekend sell-off, Saturday, Sunday sell-off, sometimes into Monday. And if we do start selling off, expect us to fall down and hit that 150 zone. I'd say probably, 155 is the sweet spot. I think we'll hit 155. The question is, will we continue after that or bounce back up from there? Will that form like a bit of a double bottom? Will we hit 163 again and double bottom? With tariffs on China and still 10% tariffs on other countries, I think we're still going down. Still too risky for me. That's what I think too. However, the rhetoric right now that the news is pushing, even Trump is pushing, that tariffs are paused. Tariffs are not paused. And I think people are starting to wake up to that. And that's the only reason why we saw this pump here. We would have continued back down and we would be heading down. However, we got this moon cheese candle. I don't know if you guys saw my meme on TikTok about the moon cheese. Hopefully you saw it. It's pretty funny. Go check it out. This is a moon cheese candle. They lie to you and tell you, oh, no, tariffs are paused. They pump the market, and then we find out tariffs aren't paused. And then they say, oh, no, they are paused. And it only moves up a little bit, and eventually it works its way back down. Okay? He'll make a deal before then. I doubt it. If you think he's going to make a deal by this weekend or next week, you are eating moon cheese. There are over 80 different countries that need to make a deal before the tariffs go away. That could take months, if not years. 15 deals in theory agreed upon. Yeah, just like the trade deals that we supposedly had with China that never went through. Y'all are eating moon cheese. This tariff war is not ending anytime soon. Yeah, the ads comes when I'm monetized now, so the ads are automatic. I can't do anything about that. Moon cheese. We talked about moon cheese. Sorry about the ads, guys, but there's nothing I can do about it. We are monetized on Twitch now. So make sure you guys subscribe if you don't want to see the ads. There's nothing I can do about it. That's just part of it. But thank you all for helping me get to the monetized point. We're finally here. It took some work. And don't forget, guys, you can always donate to the show. When you donate, that goes towards paying the staff. So I do appreciate it. Yeah, the 25% was paused, but they are hiding the fact that there is still 10% in place. And people will find out. People will find out that the tariffs are still in place. And you have to understand, guys, over 80 countries. Okay? Deals with over 80 countries are not negotiated overnight. And the fact that people think that it's going to be over by the weekend, that's crazy to me. Y'all are eating, they're shoveling in the moon cheese. You're listening to the news and you're not digging into it. And don't forget, everybody, we are live on Twitch. So if you want to engage in the chat and you're not a subscriber on Twitch or on Twitter or TikTok, if you're not subscribed on TikTok and you want to engage in the chat, you got to move over to Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lower cases, no spaces. We are live on Twitch. Come on and check it out. Have I ever looked into Orca? No. I pretty much stick with like top 5 ISO projects. There is at least 3 months before they come to an agreement. That's why he paused them for 3 months. Yeah, there's going to be more than that. There's going to be more than that. And mind you, China is not even going along with it. Korea is not going along with it. Canada is not going along with it. There, a lot of countries are going to put up reciprocal tariffs. You think it's bad right now that we have 10%? Wait till the reciprocal tariffs news starts flooding in. Do you think China and Trump are working together to flush out the EU? Now that is the biggest piece of moon cheese I've ever heard. No, I do not. I do not think China is working with the U.S. at all. Nope. I think every country is not working with us. They're all pissed off at us, and they'll probably make a deal and then recant on it. Especially China. We've made deals with China before, and they never held up their end. Yeah, China already said they've got no problem with the tariff war. Exactly, Mr. Trainer. Hey, Mr. Trainer, don't forget we are leaving TikTok. So if you want to watch the show on Twitch, that's Oz the Crypto Goat on Twitch. All lower cases, no spaces. So don't miss out. Yeah, I seriously doubt that there is going to be any resolve to tariffs anytime soon. I would say a year. A year. Minimum. 9 months. Okay, let's be conservative. 9 months. Okay? Because they're gonna tiptoe around and you know, do this and that, you know, for the next 3 months, and hee-haw and him and haw back and forth for 3 months. And then they're going to slap those that don't cooperate are going to get slapped with another hard one. And then it's going to crash the markets again, and all hell's going to break loose again. And then all of a sudden they're going to go, oh, no, we're going to negotiate and buy another 3 months. And it's just going to keep going on and on and on. I think all country leaders are buddies, but news makes it look like we're all enemies. Behind closed doors, they drink their wine and smoke cigars laughing at us. Yes and no. Some of them. You have to understand that they do get together. They do have meetings. They drink and smoke cigars while they're having these meetings, but they don't always see eye to eye. They don't always get along. But the idea of doing all that, the smoking the cigars, the having the drinks, is so that way they can kind of cool the fire instead of fan the flames. You get what I'm saying? It's just a negotiation tactic. I forget what country it was or when it was, but back in the day, they used to, they wouldn't make any agreement unless they came up with the agreement sober, and then they got drunk and still felt like it was a good idea. It's all a big show to lead you into one world order. I agree with that. You know what I think is going on is they are creating an economic crisis because you cannot change the financial system without an economic existential crisis. Do you understand what I'm saying to you guys? Are you paying attention? Pay attention. Okay. They can't just say, okay, we flipped the switch. Crypto is now what it is. Some people aren't into crypto. Some people aren't okay with it. You know, they have to make you come running and begging for it. Because there's lots of boomers out there that think it's the mark of the beast and all these different things. So in order for that to happen, they have to collapse everything. That's why China's okay with the trade war. It's what's called create the problem, sell the solution. Yes. You know what this is called? This has happened before in history, guys. It's called the race to the bottom. Okay? Google it. All right? The race to the bottom. China is okay with a trade war. You want to know why? Because they will print, baby, print. They will print all the freaking money that they can and pump it into their economy and cripple it. And then they will, because it happened in Germany in World War II, they will print like crazy and it won't even be worth toilet paper. And then you know what will happen? Everybody will start pumping their money into cryptocurrency. Rothschild. What do you mean by Rothschild? I mean, we already know about Rothschild, but what are you talking about in particular? The race to the bottom? Guys, if you want to engage in the chat and you want to go over different projects, you got to come over to Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lower cases, no spaces. Come join us on Twitch, guys. Rothschild family started the banking system. Yes. Right. At least the one that we have today. We've had a banking system long before that. But yes, the current banking system. But mind you guys, they're crashing it on purpose. It's all planned. That's why they're feeding you the moon cheese about crypto to get into it now while it's at the top, so that you throw all your money at it and then it burns its way to the bottom, and then you jump out and you lose all your savings and you lose all your 401k and everything. And then when it booms, it'll be too late and you'll have no money because you already lost it because you got in too early. We're too early, guys. Understand that. We're too early. So you got to be playing it with the fact that they are going to make you feel like it's happening now, slowly boil you in a pot like a frog, and before you realize that it's getting hot, you're going to be frog stew. All right? And then once everybody is broke, all the economies are crashed. They've inflated everything to no extent. People can't buy food. They can't afford their mortgages. They can't buy cars. They can't do anything. And the entire world's economy is crippled. Then they will come with, frog stew and bugs on the side. Once they do all that, guys, that's when they're going to push it all. So that's why you want to start stacking your chips if you can. The problem is the dollar's losing its value. Crypto's losing its value. Gold's losing its value. Everything is losing its value. There's nowhere to hedge right now. The only thing that you could do really is, I guess, maybe start a business. But even then, that is not hedging anything because businesses are collapsing. So what do you do with your money? What do you do with it? I say buy some land, start a farm. Why do you think Bill Gates is buying up all the farmland? Unless you take the red pill. I'm going to take the black pill for now. I'm a little black pilled. Yeah, it's a bad time for everyone right now. And I think, what we need to do is try to find a better, the billionaires are doing great, but I think we need to find a better way to hedge our money. And like I said, there's money to be made on the way down. So we can make money off of this system just like the big guys do. We're not going to make as much, but we can nickel and dime them because we're not eating the moon cheese. No, I wouldn't even get gold, man. Gold's overinflated and it's dead technology. You guys understand why gold is valuable, right? Businesses are doing decent for now, but wait till we go into a major recession and depression. We're kind of in a recession right now, but wait till we hit a depression. Because if they make an existential threat, it'll be worse than the Great Depression. You'll be eating your cat. Okay? That's how bad it'll get. In order for them to change the entire world's financial system, they will drive people to eat their cats. I think land is the best asset. I think land, however, now may not be the best time to buy because I think the market is going to crash. However, if you buy good, fertile soil and you grow food, now you've got land and a business, and people will always need to eat. Yeah, the depression is coming, necessary for that current change. Guys, if you think we're in a recession or you think we're headed for a depression, you know how you can, what's up, TikTok seller? You know how you can decide, instead of listening to what the news tells you, the way you can understand whether we're in a recession or a depression, look at, not obviously everyone has a different financial, their financial, what's the word I'm looking for? Situation, right? Everyone's financial situation is different. However, look at regular people that you see at the grocery store, okay? And so if you're very wealthy or you're very poor, look at the average everyday person at the grocery store that actually does have money for the groceries, or the guy at the gas pump, what you need to understand is we are in a recession when you're not buying a car or you're not going on vacation because you need to make your house payment. Okay, that's a recession. You're not buying things that are luxuries, extras, because you need to take care of the necessities. Okay, a depression is when you don't buy gas because you need to buy food, or you don't buy food because you need to buy gas. That's the difference. And let me tell you, there are a lot of people out there that are going without gas to buy food right now. They are not driving places. They're not going for a Sunday drive. They're not going to the beach. They're not going to anywhere that they don't have to because they got to buy food. Okay? Not everybody, but lots of people. So keep that in mind. Don't listen to what the news tells you. Listen to what I tell you. No, I'm just kidding. Don't even listen to me. I'm just some random guy on the internet that spent way too much money on a studio. I'm just some random guy that likes to hear his own voice. All right, random guys, thank you. No problem. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the show with your friends. Haven't listened to the news since 9/11. And you know what? Let me tell you, you turn off the news, you buy some land out in the middle of nowhere, and you turn off the TV, you turn off the devices, you stop listening to me, and all of a sudden, everything's fine. Everything is fine. As soon as you turn on that idiot box, it's all doom and gloom. As soon as you listen to me, it's all doom and gloom. But obviously, a lot of us are in situations where we're trying to get to the position where we have that freedom, we have that land, we have that financial space where we can just be us. And that's why we watch the show. That's why we do these things. That's why I have this show, because I want to grow and I want you guys to grow. I want all of us to benefit. I don't want us to live in the pod and eat the bugs. I want to make sure that we secure all of our financial freedoms, because if we don't, we will live in the pod. We will eat the bugs. We will own everything, and we will be happy with it. We won't be happy, but they'll make us think we're happy. I appreciate how much you watch out for us little guys. Honestly, I feel like I'm a little guy. Considering where I live, I'm a big fish in a small pond. But considering I came from Beverly Hills, I was a guppy in Beverly Hills. Yeah, I want everybody to make it too. You know, if I had stayed in LA, I'd still be in debt up to my ears. I'd be in the rat race. I'd be in a completely different situation. I'd be working myself to the bone. I guess I'm kind of working myself to the bone now, but that's because I've done it my whole life. I'm a workaholic now. I have to do something. I can literally do whatever I want. I could shut this show down today. I don't need the money. I can do whatever I want, and I could just step away right now and be totally happy and just go outside and smell some fresh herbs from my garden, pick fruit from my trees, make wine, you know, and make homemade soda and bread. That's what I was doing before this. But I realized, I was like, somebody's got to do something, because they are force feeding people the moon cheese. Somebody had to do it. And I was like, nobody's doing it. No one. Even other creators that have the same sentiment of where I think the market is going, they are still eating moon cheese. Okay, they are being force fed it by the media. They don't stay on top of things. Mind you, a lot of you guys have to work 9 to 5 or even more. You're working 14 hours a day. Then you got to come home and cook dinner and do laundry and tuck the kids into bed. I get it. It's hard to stay up on the news. And that's why the news wins and they're able to do what they do, because people don't have time to sift through the nonsense. So, you know, that's why I'm sifting through it for you. People literally think XRP got an ETF. You know? And if you guys don't know what moon cheese is, definitely go onto my TikTok page, and there's a new meme on there about moon cheese. And you can get an idea what moon cheese is. You won the lottery, so I don't have to work, but money is running out. Well, you've come to the right place, V. Make sure you join us on Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat. And we can take those funds and we can help you continue to make amazing trades. There's still money to be made on the way down. You just have to not be eating moon cheese. Okay? And part of the reason why I know, let me back up. I'm a workaholic too, just tired of working for corporate. I want to farm and work for myself. Yes. And that's what I wanted to, because I was tired of, being stuck in traffic in LA and all the nonsense. I was like, and look, now I have a farm and I'm doing the same thing that I love to do. I'm an audio engineer, I do audio and video, so now I have a show where I get to still have that outlet and I get to do it from home. I don't have to go all the way to LA. What? I created this for myself. I literally willed it into existence. It just happened. Doing what you want versus just working is a huge difference. Oh yeah. If you enjoy what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And that's why I don't mind. That's why I don't mind doing this show, because it's what I love to do. I love to hear myself. I love to hear my voice, and I love to mess with stuff. What's up, Aramek88? Mind you, if you guys are from TikTok, make sure you shout out your names until I get a chance to know who you are from TikTok. Yeah, LA traffic is no joke. And for those of you who are on TikTok, I can't read both chats. So if I miss your chat on TikTok, I do apologize. But if you want to make sure your chats are heard, please come over to Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lowercases, no spaces. XRP is going up tonight. It could. I think it could see about 215, 214 to 220 in there. But mind you, if it does that, it will probably come back down and it'll bounce in consolidation here before it goes back up, and then it drops. Jacob Andrews says, I'm along for the ride. And Jacob, thank you for subscribing. And you know what? The ride, roller coasters go up and down, guys, but it's still fun if you know that you're safe. If you know you're safe and you're buckled up, a roller coaster can be fun. But if you get on a roller coaster and it's some, 12-year-old running the thing at a carnival and he didn't even check your buckle or your straps or anything, and it feels loose and wonky, it can be a little intimidating. And that's why I'm here to help you guys be fastened in tight so that you don't slip out of your seat. It's been like this around a couple hours. So what's going to happen? What do you think? Do you have any strategy about this? I do have a strategy, but first, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the show with your friends. And let's look at the 1 minute chart. The charts. Yes, the charts. We actually moved back down. So we're getting lower or higher highs and higher lows. But I think we're starting to reach the top of that. We probably got another push up here. So we're at 202. We're probably going to hit, 206, 207 again. And what we're doing is we're working our way back up to this level. Whenever you get, especially like fake news pumps, whenever you get a big pump, you usually get 50 to 75% loss of that pump. And that's where we're at right now. But hold on. Let's call you Ramek88. What's your name on TikTok? Don't get it twisted. I think that's just the 1 minute. Shall I go for a short? I would hold off. Okay. Hold on a second. Let me tell you. I think we're working our way up and the top is like 210 to 215. for now. Short term. I think they're gonna pump it up, and then we'll get our Sunday sell off, which should bring us down to probably about 195 to 190, maybe 180, depending on how hard we pump up. But here's the kicker, guys. This is what you need to take into consideration. Okay? And this is only based on the charts, not based off the news. Okay? We are forming an inverted head and shoulders. It's a barely formed. We could literally pop all the way back down here to like 170 or 160 and then come straight back up, and we could still be forming the head right now. Okay, it's so early to tell. Okay, it's hard to tell. The charts say yes, but the news says no. Now, if this is an inverted head and shoulders, it would make sense because generally an inverted head and shoulders like that would be we had a head and shoulders right here. And usually once you have a head and shoulders, it's very common to see it followed by an inverted head and shoulders or a double bottom. We got a double bottom here, and it could be forming another head and shoulders to bring us up. So that is very common to see. Okay? So keep that in mind, that the charts say up, and I think they'll let it go up. I think they'll let it go up. You know why? Because you guys will all panic sell and jump out, and it will just tank now. If that happens, they need to give you hope. It's holding above $2. Oh my goodness. It just bumped up to 350, or excuse me, 250. We're back on, baby. We're at 230, 235. It's back on, baby. Start throwing your money at it. And then frogs in a pot, guys. Okay? They have to slowly boil you over time. If they turn up the heat too quick, everybody jumps out. Okay? This will happen slowly but surely. Notice. Let me see how. Notice when we look at this one. Okay? See how it spikes up hard and then it slowly tapers off. And see, it comes down and then it buys back up. And then it comes down and it buys back up. Because it has to give you hope that it's going to keep going. They have to keep you feeling like there's still money to be made. The moon isn't gone. The moon isn't gone. And it'll make it all the way back down. And then they'll shoot it up again. And they'll, oh my God, it's going crazy, guys. Jump in, jump in. It's going to the moon again. It will fall. It will fall. Just be patient. Okay? Mind you, guys, I've been very patient with XRP for many, many years. Okay? I bought in all these zones. I even bought in here, guys. And it spiked like this, and I didn't sell the first bull run like this because I thought, oh my God, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be a billionaire now. So I didn't sell any. I thought, this is it. We're going. It's never coming back down. And then, and I was like, oh shit, I'm broke again. And then I kept buying, and I was like, okay, you know, and I started to learn. And then when this one came, I learned. I realized that, oh, it cycles, and it pumps, and then it really pumps, and then it works its way down. And so I was able to make money here. And then I was able to make money all through here. And that's why I know that where we're at right now is probably somewhere right here. Because the timeline runs up. Look, this is April to August. Right here. This dip. And then we'll get another run up, but it'll only go halfway. Just joining in. What the heck made XCN pump so hard? Moon cheese. Moon cheese made XCN pump so hard. The spot ETF on XXRP. Mind you, that is not XRP. Okay. People just are assuming that XEN will get it next. Yeah, every 3 to 4 years, but this time they will catch people off guard. Exactly. And I've been saying that, guys. It happens like every 4 years. It's the Bitcoin halving. Okay. Every 4 years, Bitcoin gets halved. Okay. And that's what drives the bull run every year. Okay. Well, I believe what's going to happen is Bitcoin is literally going to be halved, cut in half, the value cut in half. Do you understand? The value of Bitcoin is going to be cut in half. All the markets are going to crash. And that will be shortly thereafter. Speaking of, let's look at Bitcoin. I want you guys to see something. I always see things much, much further along. Look at this is your Bitcoin. Okay? Your beautiful, beautiful Bitcoin. Ever since it started, this is everything Bitcoin's ever done. Everything it's ever done, right? And we got a little pump and then a dump. This is classic. Okay? We got a pump, it moves sideways, then a dump off. Okay? This is what something like what XRP will do. Okay? We're right here with XRP. It'll probably dump down and then it'll pump up again, but it probably will fall short, not like Bitcoin did where it pumped up even higher. It could, but XRP, I think we're right here. Look at this is March, May, June, July, August, September, October before it reached this second peak. Okay. I think this is where we're headed. Okay. We're going to dip hard. We're going to be able to accumulate down here and then ride it up to the top. Okay. And then come back down. This is Bitcoin. But look at your precious Bitcoin. It's always ever got higher and higher, right? Oh, it only ever gets higher, guys. It's only ever going to go up higher. It's going to go to $1 billion. No, this is a bubble. Okay? And what I'm seeing in the charts is right around regulation time, head and shoulders. Head and shoulders all the way back down to 25K, 30K, maybe 35. More conservatively, 40. Okay? With regulations comes investigations, people. We're going to take a short little intermission right now to give you guys a chance to send in your donations. I appreciate all the donations you guys send. That's also, we are on Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lowercases, no spaces. Come on over to Twitch, guys. You can send your donations to Cash App or Venmo. That's Aussie 122-33-504. So $ Aussie 122-33-504 for Cash App, and the @ symbol Aussie 122-33-504 for Venmo. We're going to take a short little 2-minute intermission to give you guys a chance to take care of that, and we will be right back.
Last night was...
Oh. Never mind, no intermission. Intermission didn't happen. So let's go back to XRP. I don't know what happened. Somebody's logged into my YouTube account, probably the kids, and they kicked me off. Dang kids. All right, let's have a look at what was said today about the tariffs, guys.
At Walter Reed Medical Center, and we will have a readout from the White House physician. Last night, Kasina arrived back safely in the United States after being detained in Russia for more than a year. Since Inauguration Day, President Trump and his team have secured the release of more than 40 detained Americans abroad. This is more than half of the number of Americans released by Joe Biden in 4 years, and President Trump has brought these Americans home in 80 days. This administration will continue to work hard to bring Americans home from around the world. As I've said before, and I will say it again today, everybody in this room has access to the most transparent and accessible president in American history. The cabinet meeting yesterday was further proof. President Trump asked each secretary to provide an update to all of you in the media on the critical work they are doing at their respective agencies to deliver on his agenda. And according to new reporting from the Washington Times, who I believe is in this room today, President Trump answered nearly 100 questions from the press, all of you, during his first 3 open press cabinet meetings this year. That's nearly 20 times the number answered by Joe Biden in cabinet meetings during his entire 4 years in office. In more excellent economic news that was released yesterday, the Consumer Price Index report showed inflation fell to 2.4% in March, smashing expectations for the second straight month in a row. This marked the first drop in consumer prices dating all the way back to the COVID pandemic. Prescription drug prices saw the largest monthly decline on record. Prices for airfare, used vehicles, and car insurance all decreased as well. And energy prices fell 2.4% in March, driven by plummeting gas prices around the country. Also yesterday, House Republicans answered President Trump's call to move forward the budget resolution and officially set the stage for the passage of one big, beautiful bill. The American economy will boom after this bill is passed and the rest of the president's pro-growth agenda goes into effect. The largest tax cuts and deregulation in history, coupled with our energy industry unleashed and renegotiated trade agreements that put America first, are the ultimate formula to usher in the golden age of America. On that note, more than 75 countries have now reached out to the Trump administration, eager to address the trade issues that have exploited America and hurt our workers in the process. The phones have been ringing off the hook to make deals, and these countries wisely heeded President Trump's warning not to retaliate, and as a result, they were rewarded with a 90-day pause and substantially lower reciprocal tariff rates during this period so potential solutions can be achieved. Past presidents just willingly accepted the failed status quo on trade that ripped off our workers and our companies. But that's not who this president is. He creates his own leverage and negotiates deals better than anyone else who has sat in the Oval Office before him. And that process is currently underway. On another matter, the deadline for registration under the Alien Registration Act is today. All foreign nationals present in the United States longer than 30 days must register with the federal government. Failure to comply with this is a crime, punishable by fines, imprisonment, or both. As President Trump and Secretary Noem have both said, if you register and you leave now, you choose to self-deport, you may have the opportunity to return later legally. But if not, you will be arrested, fined, deported, never to return to our country again. The Trump administration will continue to enforce our nation's immigration laws. We will not pick and choose which laws to enforce. We must know who is in our country for the safety and the security of our homeland and for all American citizens. I also have a note from the First Lady to share with you on this Friday. On Tuesday this week, First Lady Melania Trump celebrated the advancement of the Take It Down Act in the House Energy and Commerce Committee. The important legislation passed the committee with bipartisan support, and as you may remember, the President talked about this bill in his address to a joint session of Congress last month. The First Lady remains dedicated to her championing child well-being, ensuring that every young person can thrive, and, of course, championing her Be Best agenda. We urge Congress to swiftly pass this important legislation. Here in our new media seat today, we have Jordan Berman. Jordan is a social media content creator and influencer and a lawyer who grew up following breaking down the news from a neutral perspective. Jordan is the host of her own podcast called Unbiased Politics, where she dissects the top stories from the week from a legal perspective. Jordan focuses on bringing back real journalism from a nonpartisan perspective and has mastered explaining complex legal decisions to a mass audience in the short form context. Her two biggest platforms are TikTok and Instagram, where she has roughly 500,000 followers.
What's
on
up,
each.
B?
With that, please kick us off, Jordan.
Thank you. As you know, yesterday the House passed the SAVE Act, and many married women, soon to be married women, are concerned that the new voter ID requirements may inhibit their access to the polls. What assurances can you give women voters in America to ease?
By the
their
way, you guys are allowed to
Sure.
send
Well, the SAVE
emojis
Act,
and
as
stuff
you
in the
mentioned,
chat
was
now. I
passed
had
by
the
House
tech guy
yesterday.
fix all that.
This is the Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act. I believe I'm getting that correct. And this act is a common sense measure. It would require proof of citizenship for voting in our elections. The Democrats have been fear-mongering about this bill, have been saying that married women, if their name has changed, they didn't change it on their identification, would not be able to vote. That is complete fallacy. There are outlined in the bill about how to avoid that. The president very much supports a common sense solution to ensuring that only citizens can engage in our elections. This is critical to improving the integrity of our elections and also the trust that American citizens need to have in our electoral process. So the president supports this bill, and that is a myth that has been proven wrong by the text of this bill. And I believe some of the co-sponsors of the bill have been very vocal in addressing that. And certainly I myself, as a married woman, would not stand before this podium if the president did not support such a common sense measure.
Thank you. For my next question, I actually want to give a voice to the American people. I sourced a question from one of my listeners. Her name is Bryn. She is from Oregon. And she asked, what, if any, plans do you...
That's a good question. Do I think the crash will go all the way down when it happens? Yes, but it will happen slowly. Slowly. That's why they put out fake news, to stop it, okay? It will always go down slowly like frogs in a pot. But yes, it will have bigger and bigger crashes as people start. The further we get away from the $2 zone, guys, the faster it will crash. Okay? But it will hold at support lines and they'll allow it to come back up to 180, 190 and then fall back down and make people think that it's going back to $2 and then it won't.
You have the administration for the money that will be generated by tariffs imposed on foreign goods. How will the administration facilitate the development of American industries when many critical components, labor, parts, etc., are much cheaper and more feasible from foreign entities?
It's a great question from your listener, and I want to thank her for submitting it to you to ask. That's the part of the new media seat is so that everyday Americans across the country have a voice in this room. So thank you again for being here. Thanks for the question. The president's point about his trade and tariff agenda is to bolster our manufacturing industries here in our country, to bring down the cost of living here in our country, and to ensure that we are maintaining critical supply chains here in America. We cannot be dependent on countries like China if we want this country to be strong and wealthy. So the president wants to restore wealth to America by shoring up these jobs here at home, which will result in good paying jobs and higher wages for the American public. And so Americans should trust in that process. He effectively implemented tariffs in his first term while driving down the cost of living in this country, and that's what he's focused on doing again. Thank you.
As a follow-up question, could I just ask, are there any specific ideas that the administration has as to what that revenue, specific tariff revenue, will be used for?
Yes, to the heart of your question, the president has spoke about the trillions of dollars that he expects in revenue from tariffs and how we can use it to pay down our debt and to ensure that we are no longer faced with a crippling national debt in the trillions that is going to bankrupt our nation for future generations. So that money coming back home will make America in the green rather than in the red, which any small business owner across the country, I believe, can appreciate.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Kelly.
Hey.
Tomorrow there will be negotiations between the United States and Iran in Oman. What are the president's chief goals for that, and is he satisfied with how Iran is responding to this? They don't want direct face-to-face negotiations. Instead,
Yeah, the market reflects crypto reacts.
So is the president comfortable with the arrangement there, and what is the chief objective?
Well, I have spoken to both the president and also his national security team who will be engaged in these discussions. These will be direct talks with the Iranians, and I want to make that very clear. I also spoke to the president just last night about his goal when it comes to
Yes, sell in May, go away, and then we'll see you in the last quarter of the year.
His ultimate goal and the ultimate objective is to ensure that Iran can never obtain a nuclear weapon. The president believes in diplomacy, direct talks, talking directly in the same room in order to achieve that goal. But he's made it very clear to the Iranians, and his national security team will as well, that all options are on the table, and Iran has a choice to make. You can agree to President Trump's demand, or there will be all hell to pay. And that's how the president feels. He feels very strongly about it.
And can you update us on Mr. Witkoff in Russia and what's happening with direct communications with Vladimir Putin?
I can confirm that Mr. Witkoff is in Russia to have direct communications with the Kremlin and with Vladimir Putin. This is another step in the negotiating process towards a ceasefire and an ultimate peace deal in Russia and Ukraine. As these negotiations are ongoing, I obviously will not get ahead of the president or his team, but I think the president has been quite clear that he's been continually frustrated with both sides of this conflict, and he wants to see this fighting end. He wants the war to end. We believe we have leverage in negotiating a deal, to a peace deal, and we're going to use that leverage, and the president is determined to see this through.
Sure. Thanks, Caroline. President Trump has said China wants to make a deal on tariffs. The president says he has a great relationship with Chinese President Xi. He's willing to speak with him directly. Why doesn't the president just pick up the phone and get this ball going?
All of the things the president just said are true. The president, as I said from the podium just a few days ago when I was up here, would be gracious if China intends to make a deal with the United States. If China continues to retaliate, it's not good for China. The United States of America is the strongest, best economy in the world, as evidenced by the more than 75 countries who have called the administration immediately to cut good deals. So the president wants to do what's right for the American people. He wants to see fair trade practices around the globe, and that's his intention and his goal.
So is he waiting for China to make the first move here?
I'm not going to comment on communications that are happening or may not be happening, or either way. We'll leave it to our national security team to get these discussions underway. And as always, in the effort of transparency, we will provide updates moving forward. But the president has made it very clear he's open to a deal with China.
Why is he optimistic that China's going to make a deal or wants to make a deal? If they're not talking, where's that optimism come from?
He's optimistic.
Hey,
Sean.
why would any of our allies work with us to isolate China in a trade war if we're treating friend and foe alike?
You'll have to talk to our allies who are reaching out to us. The phones are ringing off of the hooks. They've made it very clear they need the United States of America. They need our markets. They need our consumer base. You saw Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in the Oval Office with the president saying that he was going to bring down all of their monetary tariffs and their non-monetary tariff trade barriers as well. We've heard from South Korea. We've heard from Japan. The president has spoken to Vietnam. We have Italy coming to the White House next week. There's a reason for that, Sean, and it's because they need the United States of America and our business model and our markets to survive, and the president is using that leverage to our advantage. Michael.
Hey, thank you, Caroline. Two-part question. China, Beijing says it will simply ignore any further tariff escalations from the U.S. Does President Trump see this as China backing down? And as a follow-up to that, what do you say to people like Shark Tank's Kevin O'Leary who say, you guys simply haven't tariffed China enough?
Look, the tariff rate on China remains where it was yesterday, at the 145% level. The president made it very clear when the United States is punched, he will punch back harder. And he hopes to make a deal that benefits the American worker and our companies that have been ripped off for far too long. And he's finally taking bold and courageous action to do that. You know, taking on China is, in the terms of trade and tariffs, is something that both Democrats and Republicans alike have spoken
It's
about
very
for decades.
important that we
President Trump is
listen to
finally
both
doing it.
sides what they have to say, Guinea Marie. I know you don't want to hear it, but it's very important so that we understand and we know what we're talking about. And it's very important that we don't put ourselves in an echo chamber.
To facilitate the return, not to effectuate the return. I believe the Department of Justice just filed another brief in the lower court. I would defer you to that for any updates. But as you mentioned, President Bukele will be here at the White House on Monday to talk about the cooperation that is at an all-time high. And we very much appreciate President Bukele and El Salvador's cooperation and the repatriation of El Salvadorian gang members who the previous administration allowed to infiltrate our country. Sure.
Thank you very much, Caroline. The president spoke quite highly of the great relationship that he has with the Turkish president. We know that the president might be heading off to the Middle East very soon. Is he planning to meet with the Turkish president, either here in the White House or in Turkey? Any plans?
I don't have any details about the president's overseas trip other than to say he was surely going to Saudi Arabia. There could be more countries as part of that trip. We're working on the details, and as I've said repeatedly, we will provide the details of that trip as soon as possible.
A trip to Turkey, or his invitation to the Turkish president, is under consideration.
I'm not going to comment on the details of the trip, but once they're confirmed, I will certainly let you all know. Yes, Stephen.
Thank you, Caroline. I'd like to ask you about presidential health and also about tariffs. On presidential health, are there plans for the president's physician to come here and take our questions? And also, President Trump repeatedly makes remarks about the former president's health. Is he considering using his executive powers to bring any greater transparency there?
As I have said, the president is undergoing his long-scheduled
They
physical.
ask
It's a yearly
soft
physical
questions,
that
or
every
they ask
president receives,
questions
and
that
we will
there's no
provide an
answer
update on
to.
that,
It's a
by the
catch-22.
president's physician as soon as we possibly can.
And about the former president and transparency regarding his health. Are there...
Well, I can tell you there was certainly a lack of transparency from the former president, from the entire former administration, and frankly, a lot of people in this room when it came to the health and the competence of the former president of the United States, Joe Biden. There was one of the greatest cover-ups and frankly political scandals this nation has ever seen. It's been unraveled in some recent books that are being written by journalists who engaged in that cover-up and scandal, which is quite ironic. But this president is clearly committed to transparency. You in this room see him and hear from him on a daily basis. You in this room know from covering him, it's hard to keep up with him. He is a machine working around the clock every single day. And the physician, after today's physical, will provide an update on the report in the effort of transparency.
If I could ask about tariffs, there have been big swings this week in the Treasury bond yields. There's a theory that it might be because of China dumping these as leverage, driving up costs for U.S. loans like mortgages. Does the White House have evidence that this is in fact a result of Chinese dumping, and if so, is there a message on that?
Not to my knowledge, but I would check in with the Treasury Department on that. I can tell you, I know our Secretary of Treasury, Scott Bessent, is keeping
Zodiac
a very close eye on the
nailed
bond
it.
market.
We
He
are
spoke
not a
about it at
country,
White
we
House
are a
this week, and I know he's
corporation.
keeping his eyes on it
The
day-to-day.
states are the sovereign countries.
So the administration, I have an administration source who's telling me that we're weeks away from the first deal with the country over tariffs. Where is the administration? How soon can we see that? And what country is that first one?
I won't reveal or get ahead of our trade team as these negotiations are obviously ongoing, but I can tell you very good progress has been made. Jameson Greer was on television this morning, and I spoke to him, and he confirmed that more than 15 offers are already on the table, which is remarkable in just a mere matter of days. And as I said earlier, we've heard from more than 75 countries around the world. This is a team effort. The president has a team of great, brilliant advisors who have been with him every step of the way, and all of them will be divvying up the workload. And I just want to give the president and his trade team credit for taking this on. This is a massive undertaking. There's no doubt about it. We take it very seriously. The president is determined to renegotiate global trade on behalf of American workers. And again, you've seen people on both sides of the aisles calling for this for years, but I think no other president lacked the courage or maybe the work ethic or the stamina to take on such a task. And I know there were some questions about the president's delayed departure earlier to Walter Reed. I'd like to address it was because he is working on this very issue, so he was running a bit behind this morning.
On the 90-day pause, what would the president need to see in order to extend that 90-day pause for countries on tariffs?
Well, I think the president addressed this yesterday when he said he's hoping that there will be good deals made before the 90 days is up, and we will cut those deals as soon as we possibly can, country by country, tailor-made deals for each and every country as they all propose unique challenges and unique assets to each country, advantages rather, and when that 90-day mark hits, the president will make that decision then.
One more, if I could, on a different subject. So a bird earlier attacked my colleague, Peter Doocy, during a live shot at
I'm
the
wondering
White
if
House.
that's why Peter is absent from his seat. Is he doing okay?
He's recovering.
Has anyone checked on him?
He's recovering. Is anyone looking into that incident?
I could check in with GSA to see if anybody here is looking into it. I also understand there was a mouse in the briefing room earlier today, so I'm hoping somebody checked in on that.
Mr. Trainer, thank you for the
Run up
sub.
here and distract me. That would be a good way for all of you to distract me, actually. Have a mouse come run up here. So I'll get an answer for you on that, out of respect for our good friend Peter. Jeff.
Why is American consumer confidence so low?
Look, I think there's a great optimism in this economy, great optimism for the American people, a lot of reason for people to feel optimistic. The president is, as I just said, trying to renegotiate.
Dang, Zodiac's on
global,
fire right now.
Trade agenda that has ripped off the American people for far too long. As he said, this is going to be a period of transition. He wants consumers to trust in him, and they should trust in him. Look at what he did in his first term. And I just
Yeah, they
want to
don't care
reiterate
about
all the
veterans. They don't
reasons
care
to
about
confidence that you asked
anybody.
Jeff.
They
For
care
those
about
watching at home, yesterday,
lining
the
their
CPI
pockets.
report,
The ship
inflation
is
declined
sinking,
massively,
and they are
consumer
stealing the
prices are
silverware.
dropping for the
And
first
as
time
for
in
me,
years.
I'm trying to
Energy
get my
prices are
family
down.
to the
In fact,
lifeboats.
Oil prices are down 20% since this president took office. Wholesale prices fell again. There have been trillions of dollars in investments into this country. Every day, the president is signing executive orders to cut regulation, especially when it comes to Environmental Protection Agency, our energy industry. That's going to unleash the economic boom in this country that we saw in the president's first term. So trust in President Trump. He knows what he's doing. This is a proven economic formula.
What is he asking of Americans at this time? He talked about transition costs, transition problems. Is he asking something specific for Americans to do?
No, I think the president is asking for Americans trust in Trump, as I just said, trust in his economic agenda and formula. It's a proven formula that works. And by the way, clearly the American people do in fact trust him because they did just overwhelmingly elect him to this
Yes,
office.
education and patience is everything.
I'm asking about the physical. Is he undergoing any general anesthesia? And can you outline any of the other tests that he's doing today?
He is not. He is undergoing quite a few tests, imaging. Again, it's a it's a yearly physical, so there's quite a lot that goes into it to make sure the president is accomplishing all of his goals, and we will provide a readout of that as soon as we can.
And will you be committed to releasing all of the results, as many of the results?
Almost over, guys. Then we're going to talk about it
The
some more.
president's position will do that. I spoke with him this morning.
Caroline, will you guys also consider releasing the president's fitness plan? He actually looks healthier than ever before. Healthier than he did 8 years ago. And I'm
His
sure everybody
fitness
in this
plan.
room can agree.
Oh, how
Is he working out with Bobby
important.
Kennedy? And is he eating less McDonald's?
I can confirm the president is in very good shape, as you see on any.
He's on Ozempic.
And in that vein, thank God it's Friday. It's been a very long and busy week here at the White House. We will see you all on Monday, and we will release the results of that report as soon as we can.
All right, guys. Yeah, he's probably on Ozempic. Makes sense. That's like the only way to lose weight anymore because the food is poison. People think Congress is bound by the Constitution, but they're not because we don't own it. Yeah, Constitution Swiss cheese now. B, you're on Ozempic? I'm on Zepbound, Tirzepatide. I've already lost like, I don't know, 20, 30 pounds. It honestly, I could not lose weight. I eat very healthy. Most of my food is homegrown and fresh baked, and I just could not lose weight. I think it has to do with the poison that's in the water, and well, I even get my water from the well, but it's in the air, it's in everything. And so I have a hard time getting around because I was hit by a drunk driver. It kills bone density. I didn't know that. I do know that Ozempic makes you lose collagen. So I'm probably going to start taking collagen. I noticed my skin. I get the opposite. I can't poop. I gotta go all the time. But who knows? Who knows? We can speculate on a million different things. It's crazy that they felt that was even relevant to talk about. Your clients say they can't. I've had quite the opposite. As soon as I eat something, it goes right through me. But I don't ever eat. Food is poison. The water's poison. Yeah. Everything is kind of just screwed up right now. So, and I think, that they want it that way so that they can give you a drug or a shot that you can take and it'll change. Yeah, I think it's different per person too. You know, it all just depends. Honestly, I've had nothing but good results from it. I'm able to finally lose some weight and keep it off, and I don't feel sick or anything from it. But let's get back to XRP, guys. So here's a fun little news article. Let's read this one. Let me zoom in so Mega can read it. I'm basically only catering to TikTok right now because Mega's in the live. Otherwise, I would totally be ignoring TikTok like I normally do and tell everybody to come over to Twitch. Yeah, your old eyes. You're not even that. You're like the same age as me. No, dude. Of course, we got a celebrity guest. We'll answer your questions. Glad to have you in here, Mega. Mega Crypto's watching on TikTok. Yeah. Oh, dude, I feel so old. So here's a fun bit of moon cheese for you all. By the way, I'm coining that phrase, moon cheese. The 1992 film Sneakers shows a cryptic reference to XRP Federal Reserve transfer mode. I don't know if you guys watched this, but I mean, it's kind of cool. I haven't seen the movie. I'm going to probably try to watch it maybe tonight. But it's kind of interesting about this this movie. At the same time, it's kind of a stretch and a bit of a reach, but people are really reaching for anything right now. But this is very interesting. This was April 8th that this was posted, but people have been kind of talking about this. Yeah, it's pretty neat. So basically, the XRP community has engaged in discussions surrounding an XRP reference from Sneakers, a 1992 movie around cryptography. The recent disclosure from MetaMan, a prominent figure in the XRP community, has triggered speculation with crypto circles. MetaMan shared a clip from the 1992 film Sneakers, a thriller directed by, who cares, but it's got Dan Aykroyd, Robert Redford, River Phoenix in it. But let's skip to the meat and potatoes. National headquarters among the options was listed. Was international telelink access with the code XRP 512723. And we'll take a look at it. So this is the actual image. Let me blow it up for those of you that are watching on Twitch. So this is the image right here. And it's international telelink access code line XRP 262. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm going to watch it tonight. I haven't seen it yet, but it looks pretty interesting. I saw the clip. Let's watch the clip.
It's not about who's got the most bullets. It's about who controls the information.
Anybody want to shut down the Federal Reserve?
Hey, don't screw around with that thing. It's all about the information.
So it's a code breaker?
No, it's the code breaker.
That's the clip. So that's pretty much all it is. It's a bit of a reach and a stretch, if you ask me. But it's been buzzing around. I figured it's worth talking about a little bit. And don't forget, guys, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the show with your friends, send in those lightning bolts. We got 42 lightning bolts. We need 50. And remember, guys, we are live on Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lower cases, no spaces. So make sure you check that out. Let me get rid of this now. So let's take a look at the charts here. So obviously we have a nice head and shoulders pattern that formed right here. And generally, it's very common to see a head and shoulders followed by a double bottom or another inverted head and shoulders. I think we could see either or. we could either see a double bottom here and bounce back up. And I think that's probably more likely what's going to happen because we're moving into the weekend and we're going to get that weekend sell-off. There's no like button. I know this is for TikTok, B. Quit trolling me. I'm actually acknowledging TikTok because we have a celebrity in the chat. So more than likely because of the sell-off. Yeah, I'm hoping we get a nice little weekend dump. I think the weekend dump will fall short, though. I'm thinking 180, and that's still technically a double bottom. Mega says a celebrity, bro. No. I'm thinking we're going to double bottom here, or we're going to head and shoulders. So if we don't sell off through the weekend, and I mean, we could even sell off through the weekend and just, hit 196, even like 190, and bounce between, that 190 zone and I would say like 210, more round numbers, but not exactly the price points. But if we bounce between there, that's consolidation. And that would move us sideways, which would also potentially send us into a move upward, which I think the top is going to be, mind you, and Mega, this is for you because I know you're not on here all the time. I don't use indicators, and that's why my price points are so accurate. I old school trade, like back in the day. So I'm looking in the 1 day and I'm looking in the 1 hour and all the different charts. But I'm pulling my price points from the candles. So the top of this candle is about 233. So I'm thinking somewhere between 230, because that's the bottom of this wick right here, all the way even up to 240. And I mean, I would see us even hitting 247, but that'll be the top. I really don't think we're going to make it all the way to 247. I think more than likely we're going to fall short and probably hit like 234 to 233. Like that method. I just got to practice more. And keep watching, bro, because I'm teaching everybody how to do it every day. But also, mind you, you can't just look at the 1 day. Look at the 1 week and see where the stronger candles are at. We got 223 right there, and then so 249 to 242, 244. You like the 1 day? It keeps you saying, yeah, I tell everybody to stay off the 1 minute. Fireman Joe says, what's up, Mega Crypto, from the Twitch side. Zodiac, thank you for subscribing. That's 5 new subscribers on Twitch. Thank you guys very much. So yeah, I think the 1 week is going to give us a little bit less accurate of a number. But it will give us the high side, which would be, 144. And then the day will give us the low side, which would probably be, I would say 136. Mega says howdy to you, Fireman Joe. Mega says howdy. So, yeah, I think that's going to be probably right about there is where we'll land. If we push up. And the only reason why, because the news says no, but the charts say yes. And, well, we could, B says hi, Mega. You got a bunch of people on Twitch saying hi to you, Mega. We are on the lookout this Sunday for the drop to buy in. Maybe. maybe buy in, but if we drop lower than 180, I would expect that maybe not. Because the charts say yes, but the news says no. However, they are spoon feeding everybody moon cheese right now. The rhetoric going around is that the tariffs are on pause when they're not. All tariffs are still in place. They've just been moved from 25% to 10% over the next 90 days, which 10% is a lot. We are raking in billions, guys, every day, just because of the tariffs right now. It's crazy. And I think, you know, in the long term, maybe things will pan out and get better, but maybe maybe they're crashing all this on purpose. Maybe, you know, in order to flip the switch, in quotations, you know, to do the switch flip, you know, we have to understand that there has to be an existential crisis. A lot of people think that crypto is the mark of the beast and all these different things, and it possibly could be, but we don't know. But there's a lot of people that are naysayers, and the only way that they're going to come running to crypto is if it's their savior. They will cripple the entire world's economy to get those who are naysayers to come running and asking for it. Exactly. I'm sure a big dip will come in 90 days or two. Yeah. And you know, I got 4 ads to watch after my question. Still watching. Looks about a minute of ads. Yeah. I tried to make the ads as low as possible. So make sure you guys subscribe, to get rid of the ads on Twitch. So, Mega, this one's for you, bro. Pay attention, as Calvin Hill might say. I know you think that we're right here. That this is kind of where we're at and we're about to dip. I think we're right here. And as you can see, you know, we pumped up higher than, you know, you can't really see it as much because of the ghost that's there. But I think that we're right here. And if you look at the chart right here, this is April right here. This first big drop, we get a jump up, a little bit of consolidation, and then May, June, July, August is right here. And I think this is where we're at. So, you know, keep that in mind, that the timeline more lines up with this, and it also looks a lot like this. This sideways movement. So I think that we're here. And I think that that's great because that should drop us down to these lower levels. Let me show you. So if we're looking at the candlesticks, that brings us to like 125, 130 would be the top. And I'm thinking even as low as 75 cents, 76 cents. On the high side, like 85 cents, 86 cents. And I only say 75 cents and like 80 cents to $1 because there's a lot of people that are diamond handing the shit out of this. All right, let's see here. Read the chat. Once they crash it, the dollar will go away and digital currency will become the new currency. Exactly. Crypto will skyrocket when that happens. Yes. The question is what cryptos will skyrocket? What will actually be adopted? What will actually be used? And that's why we're interested in XRP. One, because it's been so resilient. A standard bull run looks like this. Okay. I took XCN down. But bull runs look like this. And we've been consolidating, moving sideways, which is very abnormal, and which is why I could understand why you would think that we're like earlier on and we could push up again. However, We have three very, very bearish signals happening here. Obviously, we have the Frankenstein formation of a Head and Shoulders, which I don't think played out, but it was. But they used fake news right here. And technically, the Brad Garlinghouse's announcement of the Ripple case being dropped is fake news as well. So they've been using fake news to prop it up, but that only works for so long. We thought maybe a cup and handle here. We thought maybe a cup and handle here. But because it was propped up by fake news, it can only last so long. That's why I think that we will pump because of fake news, possibly. But it will fall short, probably around 130, 135, and then it'll collapse from there. XCN is going down fast now. What happened with that? It's just a classic bull run. XCN looks like this because that's a standard crypto cycle. It pumps and then it tapers off like that. Yeah, man, so much manipulation and that cancels out so many patterns or drops them way more. Yeah. XCN, I'm not a fan. Yeah, I'm not a fan either. It's basically a meme coin, but we have to take into consideration that because let me pull up Crypto Bubbles. Because coins like that are pumping. Okay, look at Fartcoin. Look at XCN with Bonk, Pi. I think Pi actually has some utility. But this is a heavy indication that we're in meme coin season. I think that altcoin season is not over. And altcoin season usually has another pump later on in the last quarter. But this is a heavy indication that we are moving into meme coin season now, and people are literally waiting for altcoin season to start. Is Pepe any good? I think it's a meme coin. It's basically the same as Bitcoin. It just stores value. It's all hype. You might as well buy hype coin. Buy yourself some hype. I hear you, but Fartcoin has been pumping for months. I know, and I think meme coin season has been going for months. Imagine getting rich off Fartcoin. I know, right? You guys have to understand, I think we kind of skipped over altcoin season and went straight into meme coin season because everyone's kind of seen the pattern that, it starts with Bitcoin and then it goes into altcoins and it moves into meme coins. So people were like, well, I'm going to jump into meme coins early so that way when it pumps, I get paid, you know? So I do think we kind of, yeah, October started meme coins, exactly. Well, I don't think altcoin season is skipped. I think we're in the middle of altcoin season, but the middle of altcoin season is a sell-off. And that's what we're seeing right now. And we'll get another pump in November, and then that'll be it. But the reason why people don't think that altcoin season has happened yet is because it didn't pump as hard as it should have. And it was almost like under the radar. That's why people were thinking that we were going to get like a super cycle. But the fact of the matter is the liquidity is more spread out. There's more options than there has been in the past. And there's more meme coins than there's ever been in the past. So the money, there's only so much money out there. Obviously they're printing more and more of it, but there's only so much that can go into one place. And a lot of people are putting it into Bitcoin, they're putting it into different things. But when this first started, there was only a handful of options, you know, and now there's hundreds and if not thousands of options to pick from. And that spreads the liquidity out throughout the entire market, guys. So it's not more centralized in where it's going. Calvin Hill's in the live. I don't know if you were watching Mega. Are you still there? I got into it with Calvin Hill the other day. Yeah, there's so many meme coins now. I got into it with Calvin Hill on his live the other day. I think the one that popped in here is not the real one though. But me and Calvin Hill got into it, and I'm banned from Calvin Hill's live now. For those of you that saw that, hope you got a good laugh from that. And I did that for you guys because somebody's got to stand up and let those people know that they're being reeled in. Yeah, I basically told him all that he's a fraud. He was like, we watched the videos. He said that by the 9th, what's today? April 11th. He said that by the 9th, XRP would be worth $7,000 a coin. And I called him out on his bullshit. That was, what was that, 1 or 2 Fridays ago? B. Walter says that guy's a moron. Yeah. No, we did. We got into it on the live. You can say whatever you want. But there were plenty of people that were there. How many profiles does that man have? Well, just like Mega, and they're starting to do it with me now too. They make like shadow accounts, and then they use them to message people, and they're like, "Hey, how's your crypto experience going? Are you holding long term, or are you day trading?" You know, and yeah. Those are just scam accounts. I don't watch him, definitely see his content. Yeah, I see his content too, and it's not like his page isn't called Calvin Hill though. Like I was just scrolling through live on TikTok and I just happened to pop in, and I just started going off on him in the chat. Did I actually go on like with my audio and video? No. Don't forget to claim your flare. What's the flare? What is that? You get 6 messages a day because I watch you. I know the fake Calvins, the Lori reports, the mega cryptos, the Oz tins, all of them. They're all kinds of them. It's crazy. And what they're doing is they're hoping that you're messaging me. But you'll know that if I'm messaging you or not, because you got to become a subscriber in order for me to message you. Flare in an airdrop that XRP had like a year ago. Now scammers are using it to say to connect to wallets. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've seen that all the time. They're like, oh, we're totally sending out an airdrop. We're sending out an airdrop, guys. What's your wallet address? Yeah. And guys, that's why you need to get your Arculus wallets in cold storage. And I like to use 2 wallets, one that's connected to the exchange, and then one that I transfer from that wallet for my long term. That's just transfer wallet to wallet, so that wallet is never connected to the exchange, just for an added layer of protection. You own Flare. Yeah, I mean, back in the NFT days, they used to airdrop stuff. That was a real thing. But now, that's all just scams. Even Coinbase doesn't do the learn and earn anymore. They do rewards now, where you have to like sign up on some random blockchain that I've never heard of, and it basically like helps some blockchain random. But those days of like learn and earn are gone. Flare is real and meant to make smart contracts on XRPL. However, there's better options. Nice. Yeah, I'm trying to stay away from the RJK subbed, thank you very much. RMark88 subbed, thank you very much. Kodak70 subbed, thank you very much. Service Tech 2000 subbed, thank you very much. I appreciate the subs. So yeah, what were we saying? Oh yeah, I'm trying to stay away from the new projects. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Mega. Anytime. Get Twitch, bro, and come see the show on Twitch. You're gonna like it much better. Thank you guys for all the emotes. I appreciate it. In the old NFT days, yeah, come check it out, Mega. You're gonna like it. It's more professional, like how your show is. I even have the VR thing too, like you do, but I didn't do that on TikTok because I didn't want to steal your shit. So I'm gonna leave that for you. But yeah, we have like the screen actually cast, and I'm gonna have the cameras set up very soon, and you'll actually get to see my face, guys. Those new subs might have been gifted by B. Thank you, B, for subbing those gifts. I do also have a sub to gift. I was gonna send it to B, but it looks like he already subbed. So we'll send that one to Awakened Mermaid Healer. You don't do it anymore? Yeah, it's a little busy. I don't really do it. I was doing it when I first started, and I just kind of got over it. You wanted your founder's badge. Nice. And don't forget, guys, you can send donations directly to me. We are no longer monetized on TikTok. So you can send those directly to my Cash App. That's Aussie 122-33-504 or Venmo at Aussie 122-33-504. And also, you those of you on Twitch, you can click the Stream Elements link and send your tip donations directly there. Thank you very much. That does help go to pay the staff, guys. We have an IT guy, we have a fact checker, and a news gatherer. I would call her the journalist. So we have a journalist, fact checker, we have an IT guy, and then we also have the stage crew that is building the stage. They're putting in new carpet, soundproofing, lighting. So anything that you send goes to pay those guys, because I've basically been paying them out of pocket. I'm about 15K and climbing into this venture. However, we've recuperated about 1,000 back. So we're only in about 14K, which is great. So those donations have helped to mitigate those expenses. So I do appreciate it. She deserves it after last Tuesday's show. If you know, you know. Yes, if you know, you know. Yeah, I think Awakened Mermaid Healer is the only other moderator that we have so far. I will add more people. If you want to become a moderator, send me a whisper and I'll add you as a moderator. So, looks like we fell down to the $2 zone. However, the weekend sell-off is coming. This could be a bit of like a triple bottom thing, and we could move up. But it looks like we did break this support line. So we'll see if we continue down or we move up. Definitely something to keep an eye on. We'll keep an eye on that. But that's the 1 minute, and that's this is going to tell us where we're going to go over the weekend. Because stranger things have happened. We have pumped on Sundays before, guys. I think it was, what, 2 Sundays ago we pumped on a Sunday? And guys, don't forget, if you are watching on TikTok, we are live on Twitch. Come on over to Twitch, guys. More professional show, professional audio, and you don't have the Twitch Oz the Crypto Goat sticker in the middle of the live. So come on over to Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lower cases, no spaces. Getting ads for the first time. Yeah, I'm monetized on Twitch now, so there's ads. So you have to sub. I know. There's nothing I can do about it. That's what happens, I guess, when you become monetized. You get ads. So I do apologize for that. But remember, if you do jump over to TikTok, there's a giant, you can adjust the ads. I'll have the tech guy look into it. I told him to put it like as low as possible for like 1 minute or less or something like that. It does help. And, you know, I also got offered like partnerships and stuff to sell things and stuff. And unless it's relevant to you guys, I'm not going to try to tell you to sell you DoorDash or Monopoly Go or anything like that. So, you know, I could just bombard you guys with shit, but that's not the intention. The intention is to have you become subscribers and regular watchers, and we can produce, you know, a small amount of revenue so that we can at least break even with this venture. I usually have pre-roll ads on. That's it. My tech guy said that it was better to not do the pre-roll and to have them happen later on. So that's why I did that. I guess I could do the pre-roll ads. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the show with your friends if you're on TikTok. And those of you on Twitch, thank you all for your donations and for your subscriptions. Much appreciated. You guys are amazing. I couldn't have done it without B. And obviously without all of you together, but a special thanks to B, our moderator. Thank you so much for helping us with setting up the show and getting the followers that we needed. And because of those followers, we were able to smash through our goals of becoming an affiliate. So much thanks and praise to B. Thank you very much. It's been amazing, and I do thank you for your service. And don't forget to check out B's channel. He does Twitch as well, playing Fortnite and stuff. I love watching him play Fortnite. That's one of my guilty pleasures. By the way, now that we are affiliate, if you guys want to watch me game from now and then from time to time, I will be playing Call of Duty Warzone. If you want to jump in and watch me play Warzone in the off hours, I may do that tonight. It is the weekend, or I don't do the show over the weekend. Maybe I'll do the Call of Duty, and we can still talk crypto if you like. But come on through and watch me play Call of Duty very badly, because I've never played with a mouse and keyboard in my entire life. So this is my very first time playing a FPS. Yeah, dude. And if you guys want to squad up with me too, definitely shoot me a whisper while I'm playing or whatever, or let me know, and I'll add you to my squad if there's space. Obviously, we're very new with the Twitch channel and everything, so that luxury won't last forever. So yeah, definitely if you guys want to squat up, since we're all new and we're just kind of getting off the ground, let's squat up. I'm down. I use a controller with my PC, and I use a PS5 controller. It's much easier. Yeah, so I do have an Xbox controller too, but it has drift. I do need to get that, but I'm more focused on getting the studio done right now. I can't spend money on things like that unless we get another buy zone and I get a nice little pump and I can pull out another couple grand or so. Yeah, I might get a PS5 controller. But I notice I'm so much more accurate with a mouse. So I tend to FOMO, I guess, with the aiming with the thumb controls. And it takes me like a lot of practice to get. I mean, there's times. So it's pumping. I wouldn't say that. I'd say it's probably dumping now. We broke support, so we're kind of watching it right now. But you know, I'm learning with the mouse and keyboard, because I noticed that with the mouse I'm a lot more accurate. So I want to kind of learn how to do it, but Yeah, because of that, there's definitely a handicap. But yeah, if you guys want to squat up, we'll definitely do that. You guys got to decide whether to buy or sell on your own. I'm not going to tell you what to do. The charts say yes, but the news says no. It's probably another bull trap. It's been bull trap after bull trap. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get screwed over. But let's get back to the news. Let's zoom in. Ripple and SEC file joint motion to pause XRP litigation. Pause. Man, pause is the word going around right now. So that means it wouldn't be ended. The litigation is not over. The injunction is still in place. They're still probably going to pay a fine. They broke the law. They're not going to be able to sell XRP to institutions until Congress passes a new law. Even if the crypto summit meetings and the SEC heads all get together and decide that they want to do something, the laws will stay the same until Congress passes something. So if you think we're going to the moon right away because big investors are going to be buying in, think again, because I don't think ETFs will be approved until the settlement is dropped. That's why they approved the XXRP settlement and not XRP. That was fake news to pump XRP, guys. Do I think it could happen one day? Yes. But as of right now, the injunction is still in place. If things move smoothly from here, the settlement could be wrapped up in the coming weeks with a formal update expected in 60 days. Ripple Labs and the U.S. SEC just hit a pause on their legal tug-of-war on April 10th. The two sides filed a joint motion asking a federal appeals court to temporarily stop proceedings, strongly suggesting that they're finally nearing a deal to settle their nearly 4-year showdown over XRP. This high-profile clash began back in December. We know what happened with the SEC. Okay? Obviously, you guys got the gist of it. This is the court papers. All right? Joint motion to hold appeal and cross appeal in abeyance. The parties jointly request that the court place this appeal and cross appeal in abeyance, with the Securities and Exchange Commission directed to file status report within 60 days. So they're asking for a continuance. Okay? They want to negotiate some more. All right? So there is nothing that says that it's over. And if you want to look up the case, there's the information for you. But the case is still ongoing. Brad Garlinghouse lied to you all to pump the coin right before they dumped more XRP than they've ever dumped in history. 500 billion XRP coins. Normally they sell about 100 billion, and they keep 200 million of that 100 billion that they put back into escrow. This time they dumped 500 billion overnight. That was April 1st or 2nd. Yeah, that should show what a disgrace he is. People think, Brad Garlinghouse is for the people, and they view him like, oh, he's just like Jesus. No, he only cares about propping up the price of XRP for his shareholders so that he can enrich himself and his business. Let me tell you something. If Ripple is unloading XRP like crazy, they expect it to go down. If they're going public, they expect the price to go down. Okay? That should tell you right there. They want to open a Ripple IPO. I first started trading with IPOs. Rambo, don't forget we're on Twitch. I first started trading with IPOs in the stock market, guys, and IPOs are pump and dumps, okay? A company releases a stock that's overvalued. People buy it up quickly because it first hits the market, it pumps super high, and then the company sells off their shares and it usually drops lower than its original IPO price. Classic pump and dump, just like a meme coin, okay? That's what IPOs are, okay? We'll get into that, Guinea, just a second. So if a company is going public, okay, and they're offering an IPO, they're hoping on the idea of the FOMO to pump it up. And what happens is it's just like a meme coin. It pumps up, and then eventually the company unloads their shares, and they use those profits to build up the company and expand. That's the whole reason for going public. All right? So when is the IPO dropping? We're not sure yet. It's just in rumor talks right now. But Brad Garlinghouse himself said that they're dropping an IPO. But isn't all crypto shady? I mean, technically, yeah, until we have regulation, yes. Until we have regulation, we have no idea what's going on with crypto. But the reason why crypto you can make money is it's more volatile than the stock exchange because there's less money in it. Yeah, and that's why people like crypto. That's why I like it. It's volatile. I can make these trades, you know, what I would make in a year in the stock market, I can make in days in crypto. Well, I don't have to be lucky because, as you can see, I can magically read the charts. Yeah, they pump and dump because there's no regulation. But, however, some of them don't dump, like Bitcoin, because people see something in it. People see... yes, it does take a lot of skill. Trust me, guys, the money that I make now, I paid for sometime along the road where I learned. Okay. This type of education and these types of trades, don't come free, guys. It takes time to learn this, but that's why I'm here to help you guys. So that way you can learn and make your own trades, but also have the knowledge and understanding of where things will more than likely actually go, so that you guys can become profitable more quickly. When I started trading, the internet wasn't like it is now. You can't just ask ChatGPT a question. You can't go watch some YouTuber or Twitch guy or TikTok guy to give you all the answers. Now you guys have the world's knowledge at your fingertips, so you guys can all learn that much faster. And that's why this show exists, because the knowledge is there. And you know, it took me years to learn all this stuff. It took me you know, a very, very large amount of liquidity to learn this. Okay, I've lost a lot. I'm in a place now where I've made more than what I've lost in my entire career. But let me tell you, my first, I don't know, 5 or 7 years of trading, I was not profitable. I was lucky to break even. Okay, but I usually always broke even by the end of the year. And what I learned was to be patient. I learned to stop trying to make short trades, to make longer trades, to not jump into something because it was pumping, but to jump out of it because it was pumping. You know? I don't like XRP for reading anymore. What do you mean? I don't want it for trading. Oh. XRP is good for trading. I think I like it because it springs back. There's a lot of rhetoric in it that's keeping it up. So that means every time it falls hard, it rebounds. So there's a lot of money to be made in it rebounding like it does. That's why I focused on XRP, because other projects, it'll just go up and then it'll just drop. And that's why Brad Garlinghouse they want to artificially prop up the price as long as they can, because that's more money that can be made. That's why I like XRP so much. Is XRP done long term? I'm not sure. It could, be worth $5 in the next 3 to 5 years. But if you think it's going to 10K, there's no freaking way. And by the time it could ever even reach those numbers, something else will come along that will replace it. XRP will probably never see above $10. It could see $50 to $100, maybe in a decade if it ends up being the end all be all. But in a decade, a lot can happen. I'm done long term, sold my 27K shares earlier March. Good for you. And that means that you're not going to lose everything. And what you do is, Guinea Marie, you're going to wait for it to come back down into these sub-dollar zones, and you're going to start dollar cost averaging and buying up, because it could pump at any time. The glitches, those are just glitches. They happen with Bitcoin. They happen with Ethereum. They happen with everything. They're just glitches. Some people think it's the private ledger. It's all speculation. There's no hard evidence to prove anything. But right now, everything is crashing hard. The dollar's losing value. The markets are losing value. The only things that are really gaining value are hard assets, things that people can use, like used cars are going to go through the roof once the price of the cars comes out this year. That's one thing that I buy. I buy classic cars. I buy used cars. Real estate's about to crash. Real estate's a bubble that's been waiting to crash. I think right now your hedge is the used car market, baby. And if you got hundreds of thousands of dollars, you'd have to open up a used car lot. And even then you'd probably, not do so well. What just happened? Rambo. What was that? Yeah, you can't buy them cheap. I buy them cheap, and then I'll throw like a couple $100 into them and make sure that they're sound and sweet. And then, I always have friends that are looking for a car. You're a jack of all trades. Oh yeah, I'm a workaholic. I can pretty much do everything. I'm doing all kinds of stuff right now. But also I have a little army that lives here. I have 5 kids. So I'm teaching them how to do things as well, and they're helping me because I can't physically do it anymore. That's why I sit at a computer and yap to you guys. I do teach how to trade. Yep, 5 kids. 5 kids. Bunch of little assholes. They all got an attitude and an opinion. I think interest rates are going to go up or stay the same. I don't think they're coming down. Yes, Head and Shoulders. And guys, those of you that are on TikTok and you're in the chat, make sure you come over to Twitch, guys. If you want to engage in the chat, come on over to Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lowercases, no spaces. I'm not going to tell you if I'm wealthy or not. Relatively, no. Compared to like Jeff Bezos, I would say I'm not wealthy at all. Jeff Middleton, don't forget to come on over to Twitch. So guys, come watch the show on Twitch. They're you, but twice as bad. Oh, I know. And I was awful. I was a terrible little human being. All right, back to the news. Actually, wait. Before the news. Yeah, let's do the news. More news. Uh-oh. Hope I didn't just click Yep, I totally clicked something. Hope I don't get a virus. My mom always said, I hope you have a kid just like you. Yeah, my mom too. I'm glad I have kids just like me. I actually think. So the fact that I have a bunch of free thinkers that question everything, I think is a good thing. All right, XRP price update. Bullseye breakout above 220 resistant. XRP is currently priced at, and don't FOMO because of this, guys. Okay, just wait, be patient. XRP is currently priced at $2 to $2.01 over the last hour, supported by the market capitalization. Over 24-hour volume. Trading activity has remained concentrated within an intraday range of 193 and 203 as technical indicators across multiple time frames shows signs of possible reversal and continuation setup in the near term. On the 1 hour chart, XRP reflects a consolidation phase with a slight bullish bias. The price has been established higher lows since bouncing off of 192 level, suggesting a gradual accumulation. Candlestick formations in this range hint a steady buying interest. Although volume has slightly declined, this contraction in volume alongside the tight price channel between $2 and $2.03 points to a likely breakout should momentum carry XRP above 204. A quick price acceleration towards 210, 215 zone may unfold, while any drop below 198 would invalidate the immediate bullish thesis. Okay. And this is the double bottom. I think this is more of a Head and Shoulders that's forming. It could end up being a double bottom where we drop back down here and then move up. But other people are seeing something similar. Jessica, thank you for the heart me. Much appreciated. By the way, if you do send a heart me, I believe you can click the little... it's like a present box, and then there's a little crown in the top right corner, and then there's like free gifts that you can send. So when you guys become Heart Me members, there's free gifts that you can send, so you don't have to even send money, you just send TikTok's money. The 4 hour chart reveals a more pronounced recovery trajectory following a sharp decline to 161. Since the drop, XRP has formed a series of higher lows and is now testing the 210 resistance level. Notably, buying volume has increased on green candles, underscoring positive momentum. A bullish pennant or ascending triangle appears to be shaping, signaling a potential for continuation. Okay, a bullish pendant and a descending triangle. We do not have an ascending triangle. This is a lie right here. We have a descending wedge, or it's a descending wedge, I think is what it's called. We do not have an ascending triangle. I do not see it, and that's because I'm looking at the candles without adding the wicks on the day, which gives a more accurate depiction. The day chart has more candles in it, so it's more accurate. Underscoring positive movement, bullish pendant or ascending triangle appears to be shaping, signaling potential for continuation and formed breakout above 212, 215. Oh, I think they're talking about this right here. Never mind. They're talking about in the short term. In the 1 day, sorry. Resistance range could trigger a medium term rally, while future to hold, the 195 support area may open the door for renewed downside pressure. So we have to see if we're going to start breaking towards 180, guys. And even if we break towards 180, 175, we could double bottom in the 1 day and bounce back up, or even triple bottom. I'm not going to read all of this. We'll see. We'll read the verdict. The bull verdict is if XRP remains support above 195 and successfully breaks through 212 to 220 resistance zones with convincing volume, the technical structure supports a bullish continuation, the formation of higher lows across timeframes, and signs of seller exhaustion on the day chart suggests a potential breakout towards 230 or higher in the coming sessions. Mind you, I said this before this analysis came out. This came out 13 hours ago. I've been saying this since yesterday. Okay? Early yesterday in the show, I was saying this. But, they're saying the same thing. Bearish verdict, XRP failed to sustain 195 support and dropped below the critical 190 level. Bearish momentum is likely to resume. This would continue a breakdown from current consolidation patterns that could prompt a retest of the 161 capitulation low, reasserting the macro downtrend. Capitulation. Do you hear it? Are you listening? Capitulation, guys. What is that word? Where have we heard that word before? Oh, where is it at? Where is it at? There it is. Capitulation. That's capitulation right there. Yes. Remember weeks ago I told you should be fearful? And we may be moving into capitulation now, guys. Understand? This you are here has been here for a while. Over like 2 months ago, I said you're all in denial. Now we're moving into capitulation. So we could test 161 again. And if we do, that would be a double bottom. Okay? And retrace back up again. Still to 235. So the question is, should we be buying now or should we be buying later? That's the real question. What does that mean? That is the crypto cycle. So the crypto cycle has a certain... there you go. B clipped it right there. Capitulation is basically the middle on the way down to the very end. It means that the bull run is nearly over. It's not a pattern, it's the cycle. So it's the crypto cycle of every bull run. However, the middle to the end, exactly. However, I think they're really trying to prop up the price, and because of the moon cheese. So because of the moon cheese, I'm thinking that we get the pump up. Either we double bottom and come back up, or we head and shoulders and come back up. Maybe. But if we start dropping this weekend and bad news comes in, we could fall past, and that would take us into the new low zones, guys, where we would see probably, I'd want to say we'd probably, let's get them more accurate. Okay. If we go down low, we land at 155, 156, just to be safe. Yeah, 155. And you guys see how I'm getting these numbers? Okay. We're looking at the bull flags from the pump. Okay, and we have this candle to candle meet right here. We have a wick here and a wick here and a wick here. And it just kind of lies right there on that 155. And also, 155 is one of those strong psychological zones. So I would say probably put yours at like 156 to 158. You know, I'd probably say, you know, because like we dropped to 161. Okay, and I figured it would probably be about 160, 161, but I added a couple cents to the price. Yeah, to buy in for the next jump up. If it even does jump up, we could literally not do that at all, but I think they're really trying everything they can to not crash the market. But, you know, the only reason I think that to buy back in is because I do think they are trying to keep it up. I'm going to do small money to try to learn without anxiety. That's the best way to learn. And you can't really lose, because if you'd have just left it in anyway and never watched the show, you'd have lost it anyway. So think of it as you already lost it. You know, practice was something you can afford to lose. But, you know, and as you get that practice, you'll start to, you know, see, okay, I'm making money, I'm making the right moves, and start putting in more. But generally, you don't want to put in lots of money up here, guys. This is the top. You want to throw it all in down here, baby. Anywhere from 120 to 75 cents, baby. That's where you want to get in at, and then wait. That's what you did before. Good for you. So you made some money then because you watched this show. You got in early on. You took some profits, you know, not at the very top, but you did all right because you didn't keep eating the moon cheese. So if you know, play with a little bit of money on the way down to learn. Because remember, there's still money to be made on the way down. That's why I like XRP so much, because it has nice swings in here where we've made some money. And it's because of the speculation. Did great. Usually only put in stocks. Yeah. Crypto is so volatile. I can make in like a week or a month what I make in a year in the stock market. But only during a bull run. You know, I can still, I can't do it down here because it doesn't swing enough to even cover gas fees. So only in a bull run. So that's why we like XRP, because it swings so hard. And that's why I think it's probably going to swing back at least to a little bit. I can see the bull run coming. However, I don't think the next bull run is going to be so far off. I think we'll see it in like a year, maybe 2 years instead of 4 years. So what's going to happen right now, please would really like to know. We don't know. We have to wait to see whether we break down or if we consolidate. Yes. Accumulate at the low. You want to accumulate at the low, but make your bag, grow on the way down. That's the idea. As for Mark 88, your question, the answer is that we have to wait and be patient. Okay? We have to wait and be patient. We're in consolidation. In a consolidation zone, you generally don't buy or sell. You wait to see what happens. So either way, even if we do break down, I still think we'll bounce back up to 235 only because, keep an eye on tariffs. Exactly. The only reason I think it's going to bounce up, everything in the news indicates down into capitulation and continue moving downward. However, they have been spoon feeding people moon cheese like crazy and artificially pumping up the markets. I think we'll see at least some kind of movement. And if we do drop to 162, we'll at least hit 194 again. At least, and then come back down. So there will be money to be made. But I do think that we'll either move sideways and kind of zigzag between 215 and 195, or we'll drop below down to around 165-ish, 170-ish, and then double bottom and come back up. But you guys want a magic ball, to give you all the answers. I recommend going to Walmart and buying yourself one of those magic 8 balls that you shake that gives you an answer. Okay? I know that I call the prices all the time, but there are areas like consolidation where when it's in that area, it's a 50-50 shot, whether it's up or down. I cannot tell you what it's going to be. What I can tell you is that the news says that we're going to keep going down. You bought at $3. Oh my God. Don't feel bad. You're not the only one. The news. Oh, no, not me. People bought at $3. Exactly. And because they bought at $3 and they think that it's going to 10K, they don't care that it's $2. They want to load up on more. They're being spoon-fed moon cheese. That's the only reason why I think it's going to rebound up to like 230, 235. Okay? If it weren't for moon cheese and fake news, I'd say we're done. We're going to... Yeah, they're going to lose it all. And I think that's what they want. They need to make sure that they drain everyone of all of their resources before this happens, so that they don't have the money to buy in. And for you that said just keep dollar cost averaging, you're a fool. You need to be dollar cost averaging in these zones down here. Okay? Dollar cost averaging is not for when we're on a major decline to the bottom. It will go up at the end of the year, but it'll drop down to $1 or even sub $1, maybe 75 cents. And then it'll only push up to probably at the most $2.80 or $3. I saw TikTok that people put 100K in crypto and lost everything. Remortgaging too. It's crazy. Oh, I know. A lot of people did. They thought, oh my God, we're going to be billionaires. It's amazing. And it's just really sad. That's why I started this show, for that very reason. I started this show for those people because I feel it in my heart that people need to know this. Sorry, I'm getting emotional again. People need to know. Thanks for the cheer up, Aktua. Yeah, people need to know, man, because they are the only way we're ever going to combat this new world order, whatever you want to call it, and not have to live in the pod and eat the bugs, is if we work together as a people, as the little guy, the serfs, the peons. We come together and we enrich ourselves financially in a way that we can fight back, because this war will not be fought on a battlefield. It will not be fought with guns and bombs. It will be fought in the minds of the everyday people. It will be fought with a pen and paper. It will be fought with your pocketbook. When you do introduce me as a streamer, would you be able to let people know I gear my stream towards helping others with PTSD and veterans, first responders, suicide awareness? Yes. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. I thought I did. I must have got caught up. If you guys do struggle with PTSD, first responders, suicide awareness, veterans, reach out to CBEO1. He has a support group for those who struggle with PTSD, and reach out to him. Guinea Marie works with PTSD sufferers. Yeah. Very sad. I can only imagine losing so much when so desperately in need. Yes. It is just awful. You know what? I just saw something, guys. This kind of looks like a bull flag. I just saw something. It does. It looks like a bull flag. I think we're going to move up. We got to make sure, we got to wait and see. Yeah, I needed that other candle to form in order to see it. But look, that's a little itty bitty bull flag. And that's just big enough to take us up to about 232, 235, 230. So I see it now. That's our bull flag. However, it could be a bull trap. So let's watch and wait, because it is the weekend, okay? But if we see it breaking up above mind you, it's above $2 now. Okay? If we stay above $2 through Sunday, I highly anticipate it moving up. I highly anticipate it moving up. I'm going to wait, but Sunday will probably give us a nice 196 price point, which would still be well in that 197, 198. That would be your buy zone. But we'll see. You're in, like you're going to buy right now in, or you're already in? You know, and we were just waiting for this new candle to form to find that out. And hi, Avi. Glad to see you. But overall, it's a head and shoulders pattern. Yes. I would say it's more or less a descending wedge, which is, I don't put the descending wedge pattern up here because people are misled and they think it's a bull flag. So, but it is a descending wedge. I'm glad to have you here. I appreciate all you guys. And don't forget, we are monetized on Twitch now. So, AV, you can become a subscriber, and you can also donate as well. And then there's another donation thing that comes up. But mind you guys, your subscriptions mostly go to Twitch. I get a percentage of it. So if you want to maintain your, that's basically going to take care of your ads. If you want to maintain those daily price point videos that I post and message me directly, make sure you still subscribe on TikTok for now until we completely merge together, because I think we're going to be simulcasting, or I'll be posting and messaging and doing subscriptions on TikTok, and then you know, and you'll get that content from TikTok, and the live will be through Twitch. So we'll be doing both. And remember, guys, if you missed the show, I'm now recording the show. Does it benefit you if you subscribe to Twitch? You don't get the ads, and you can. We will eventually just be moving away from TikTok. But there are people who have already paid for subscriptions, so we're doing a slow transition over to Twitch. But yes, you won't have to pay for the ads on Twitch. And mind you guys, I'm working tens of hours. The information that I'm giving you, some people charge astronomical amounts of money to learn, to be taught what I'm teaching, you know, and, you know, so, you know, count them as two separate things. One is the live show, and the other is more, the TikTok side is more or less your price points and your daily coaching. Oh yes, it definitely benefits me. I get like, I think I get like 40 or 50% of the subscription. So it does benefit me. More than TikTok. TikTok puts fake things on me that I have to appeal, and then they don't even appeal them, but they issue those demerits against me so that they don't have to pay me. Yeah, your subscriptions go to me. I get about half that revenue, so I do appreciate that. And eventually we will completely move over. So it's just a short-term thing. But my account on TikTok is -$8 today. I'll go live for an hour or two, and then my account will say that I'm like in the negative, just because they're stealing from me, guys. They're stealing from me. That's why we're leaving. They give me fake, I don't want to say the B word, but you know, BANN, you know, and when they do that, it takes my money from me, and they're basically stealing. And that all happened since the tariffs. It got even worse. So I was like, okay, it's time to move. Also, Chad, if you have Amazon Prime, you can also sub to his channel for free once a month. Yes, you can. If you have Amazon Prime, it's free to sub. But you know, I'm gonna keep the Twitch and TikTok separate. So the Twitch will be catered towards the live show, and the TikTok will be more for like when you subscribe, you get those daily price point videos, and you get the personal coaching where you can message me directly. So there's a benefit to both. I know I feel like I'm stretching you guys a little thin, but I'm putting in so much work and I have a staff to pay. That's why I literally have to ask for donations, because I'm literally in the negative now because of TikTok, and I have to continue to go live to continue to not be in the negative, because basically they're saying that I'm supposed to be doing a show selling stuff to you, even though I never agreed to any of that, but I guess I did. I don't know. I didn't read the fine print. So I'm not here to do a commercial show, okay? This is meant to be a Q&A, a talk, the news. I don't want to sell you guys a bunch of stuff. Even with the there it goes, the donations and the ads, it's all part of the digital element. You know, there has to be some type of revenue, otherwise there is no platform. So I get it. They offer that to you to make extra money. I know they offered it to me, but then I basically went live and didn't promote. I guess somehow a bunch of beauty products ended up in my TikTok to sell that I never added there. I don't know where they came from. And I was going live and they were being posted up on there. I'm wondering if I got hacked or something. But now I'm not earning anything. It's like, I don't know if somebody got my information, they're taking the money from there or what. But basically I somehow signed up to sell beauty products, and I'm refusing to sell beauty products to you guys. So I'm paying for it. No, not the Twitch channel. This is TikTok. Yeah, TikTok is stealing from me. Poway Rock, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate you. So remember, guys, it looks like a bitty bull flag. We'll probably hit like 199 to 198 and then continue up. We'll see what happens over the weekend, guys. Keep that in mind that anything could happen, but we need to keep an eye on it. All right, back to the news. So much news. We've been talking about all kinds of stuff. Here we go. Now, if you've been watching the show, you know that Jessica, thank you for the 5 lightning bolts. Appreciate you very much. If you guys have been watching the show, you already, one tweet, one bad news can send it either way. Exactly. And I'm banking on the Moon Cheese tweet. However, we kind of already got the Moon Cheese tweet, which was the tariff pause rhetoric. So I don't know. I'm very conflicted right now. I'm very conflicted. I'm going to let the charts tell me where it's going right now, because I feel like that's what it's going to be just right now. It won't be the trap, because they have to lead people to believe that there's still money to be made. So I'm going to believe the chart right now. You see the bull flag better on the weekly chart? It's not a bull flag, it's a descending wedge. Not a bull flag. Look at the monthly chart. Monthly chart's a head and shoulders. Wake up. Do you ever jump in just to make extra money? I do. That's how I was able to build the studio and buy all the new equipment. I jumped in. I caught the Brad Garlinghouse candle where he said the case was over. But I was able to read the charts to do that. So I read the charts. Charts said we were going up, and then he came out and we got a moon candle. I just noticed there was an Oz subscript versus Twitch subscript. Just signed up for Oz. I think I still have to watch commercial. I'm sorry. So I'm Oz the Crypto Goat. I do apologize for that. I don't know how to change any of that. You may be able to message Twitch and like their help center, and they may be able to refund that back to you. But yeah, the reason I invested all of this money into you guys because it was profits from my XRP, but now I'm in like 5K. Well, 4K because I made money from going live, but I'm in about 4K in the hole. On top of that, so I've got about 15,000 invested into this venture. The real Eric's hungry. You gonna eat some moon cheese? Did you see the moon cheese, guys? If you guys haven't seen it yet already, on my TikTok, I made a new meme, the moon cheese. Check out the moon cheese meme on TikTok. Yeah, it's great. That's another thing too, guys, is I'm making all those memes. Like, you know, my IT guy doesn't do all that. That's all me. I make all those memes single-handedly. All the little videos and clips. There's a lot of work that goes in just to doing memes, guys. No worries. I was asking about it to support you. I don't want to remove commercials for money if it didn't benefit you. It does benefit me. It does. But the best way, if you do want to support me, guys, the best way to do it is to send it to the Cash App or Venmo. If you send it there, I get all the money. I don't use the fibs. I don't use indicators. Nope. That's how I was able to call it to the cent. Okay. Those will mislead you. Expecting a dip soon? Maybe in a couple weeks. I don't know. We need to see what happens today. We need to see what happens over the weekend. All right. So if you've been watching the show or you're just new, if you're new, you probably think that XRP got a new ETF. If you've been watching the show, you would know that there is no ETF for XRP. XRP is trading flat on Friday morning, hovering around 199 as traders digest a wave of bullish long-term news following the dramatic week in the crypto market. Mind you guys watching on TikTok, if you want to engage in the chat and not get skipped over, jump on over to Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat. All lower cases, no spaces. We're on Twitch. And you're going to get a much better video and audio quality. So jump on over there if you want to engage in the chat. While the broader altcoin market remains mixed after Wednesday tariff-driven rally, XRP is holding ground above the $2 psychological level, showing resilience amid short-term indecision. Despite the lack of immediate momentum, its chart suggests the asset may be gearing up for another breakout. XRP's price action is leveled out following a sharp rally earlier this week. The token gained nearly 15%. Tuesday's lows after President Trump paused tariffs. He did not pause tariffs. God, I hate the news, man. Except on Chinese imports for 90 days. Lies! All tariffs are in effect. They were just adjusted at the rate they will pay. Everyone is paying 10% across the board. The biggest tariffs we've ever implemented in U.S. history. okay, are happening, and the fake news is pushing that it's all paused. And the fact that we have Chinese imports at 140 something percent tariffs, most of what we get is from freaking China. Y'all are crazy that you believe that it's been paused. It's crazy. What's happening? Did I miss something? No. Since then, XRP has consolidated near the $2 mark, drifting between marginal gains and losses. Blah, blah, blah. We read all this. So basically, everything is the same. The biggest catalyst for XRP this week came from an unexpected source. British banking giant Standard Chartered on Tuesday. The bank projected XRP will surpass Ethereum in the market capitalization by 2028, citing analyst growth dominance in the cross-border payment space. And that is possible, but it's not happening now. It's not pumping now. I just looked. Get off the 1 minute chart. Look at the 1 day. Whoa. Let's see. Adding to the bullish momentum, the New York Stock Exchange approved the Tecurium 2X long daily XRP ETF, XXRP, earlier this week. The leverage fund, which launched April 8th, is designed to deliver twice XRP's daily price performance via swap contracts. While not a spot ETF, XXRP is the first exchange-traded fund in the United States tied to XRP, signaling increased institutional interest. Analysts suggest that the launch could help normalize ETF exposure for XRP and potentially pave the way for future spot product. So, do you guys understand why they did a spot ETF for XXRP? And then they told everyone that it was for XRP to pump XRP. But the reason why XXRP got a spot ETF, because it's illegal for XRP to have one. And even after the injunction is dropped, it is still illegal until Congress passes a new law. Period. Period. Okay? There will be no ETF approval. There will be no institutional money in XRP until the injunction is dropped and the laws have been changed. Period. That's that. I'm not here to feed you moon cheese. I'm here to give you a nice, juicy steak. Listen, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be the juiciest steak you ever had. We're all going to be eating steak and drinking Bud Light. It's going to be beautiful. So yeah, spot ETF Poway rock with the steaks. Yeah. We're all going to be eating steak and drinking Bud Light. No crap from China. Whoever thinks, I'm sorry, don't mean to give you a hard time, but somebody said, way to close, Oz. I don't think we're over yet. I still got a few more things to go over. We could go till 9 o'clock possibly, but whoever said that we were pumping right now, you need to get off the 1 hour chart. Get off the 1 minute chart. And if you think the 1 minute is the XRP is pumping, I would recommend you don't go any lower than the 30-minute chart. The cheese is here. Yes, we don't want to be eating cheese. We want to be eating steak and Bud Light. Oh, my imagination. You know, yeah. So let's see what CoinDesk has to say.
Bitcoin shedding gains as U.S. stocks tumble and Trump hikes tariffs against China to 145%. It's Thursday, April 10th, 2025. I'm Christine Lee. This is CoinDesk Daily. Bitcoin falling below $80,000 and the crypto markets turning red Thursday as U.S. stocks shed another 5 to 6% during the New York trading session, while European and Asian stocks soar after U.S. President Donald Trump hikes China tariffs to 145%. Yesterday, Trump reduced reciprocal tariffs for other countries by 10% and paused sweeping tariffs on non-retaliating countries for 90 days to allow for trade negotiations. The European Union also paused tariffs against the U.S. for 90 days. U.S.-listed spot Bitcoin ETFs saw 127 million in outflows Wednesday, according to Farside Investors data. Nevertheless, asset manager Grayscale saying trade tensions could be positive for Bitcoin adoption in the medium term, as they can lead to stagflation, and this benefits scarce assets such as gold and Bitcoin. Grayscale adding that the U.S. dollar's role as the world's single reserve currency may be challenged, allowing room for new reserve assets. Paul Atkins, known for his pro-crypto stance, has been confirmed as the new chair of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission with a 52 to 44 Senate vote. Atkins, a former Republican commissioner, was appointed by U.S. President Donald Trump and is widely expected to be supportive of crypto-friendly policies. A swearing-in ceremony will soon take place. Atkins' tenure will begin with an incomplete commission, which is meant to have 5 members and whose sole Democrat, Caroline Crenshaw, is occupying an already expired term. The White House hasn't yet moved to fill the 2 Democratic positions on the commission. Finally, Pakistan announcing plans to allocate part of its surplus electricity to Bitcoin mining and AI data centers. This initiative follows the recent appointment of Changpeng Zhao, the founder of Binance, as a strategic advisor to the Pakistan Crypto Council. The move is seen as a step toward integrating Pakistan into the global blockchain and cryptocurrency economy, with the potential to utilize up to 10,000 megawatts of surplus energy for Bitcoin mining. For more news in the morning, head on over to Crypto Daybook Americas. You can subscribe at coindesk.com/newsletters.
Sorry about the volume there. So we got a little bit more news. More about the ETF. Obviously, this is BS. Ripple announces one of the largest deals in crypto history. First US-based XRP ETF debuts with very respectable trading volume. Crypto News digests you today. It's so misleading, guys. They mislead you. They want to lie to you and tell you that XRP has an ETF. That means institutions are going to get into it. They're doing everything they can to get you to FOMO and buy into XRP right now. They're doing everything they can to prop up the price. That's because the price is crashing. The price is crashing. The end is nigh for XRP for at least the next couple months. And they need you to still keep throwing your money at it so that you can be their exit liquidity. This is their exit strategy, guys. This is their exit strategy. Their exit strategy is to lie to you, cheat you and tell you that the world is made of sunshine and rainbows. And it's not. Okay? They want you to buy up right now because after it dips down and it goes back up, it won't go any higher than it is now. Maybe a little bit more, but that's it. But then it'll start going up and you'll think, oh, I'm making money, and then you won't sell. I was pretty much expecting it would. The $2 mark is a magnet. Oh, excuse me. The $2 mark, whenever we get close to it, it's going to be a magnet. Whether on the upside or the downside, it is always going to consolidate. That's why I don't think we're going to form a double bottom. The only thing that makes me think that we'll form a double bottom. Look at who said we were pumping? Who said we were pumping? The only reason that I would think that we form a double bottom and not the head and shoulders is because the weekend sell-off and Asian markets may want to crash the market. Do you guys see this right here? Do you guys see how this is a head and shoulder, or an inverted head and shoulders with a double bottom? Okay. Pay attention, guys. Do you see it right here? This is a AI signal. Okay? When you see this right here, it means that it's going to play out right here. The exact same thing, identical to it. Do you see it? Do you see the head and shoulders is also right here? Do you see it, guys? Do you see this formation right here? Okay. This is a heavy indication. This is an AI generated indication that this will play out. Okay. I've been waiting to see that. Yes. Okay. That is a strong indication. Look, this is also a cup and handle right here. Do you see it? And that would send us to 235. Somebody in the TikTok chat, I can't even say what they just posted. No, this is XRP. Yes. So we have a cup and handle. And mind you, the cup and handle is only bullish when we plow up into it like we did here. This is a strong indication right here. I almost say buy. But Sunday. Yes, to go up. Everything in the chart right now is pointing to an upward movement. Okay? Everything. I am tempted to buy. I am tempted to buy right now. However, we're moving into the weekend, but we have pumped on Sundays before. I'm pretty sure I said something like that the other night, but I was over everyone's head. I was a little too ignorant. Said something like what? I mean, like to go up? And it's okay, guys, to ask these questions, okay? And to get clarity. You guys have, this is your money, okay? Morgan, I wouldn't say 50-50 anymore. I'd say it's a strong indication of upward movement right now. Everything is pointing to up. I kind of want to buy right now. I'm tempted to buy. However, look at this. Does look a, this is an inverted head and shoulders. It kind of looks like a cup and handle, but we have the weekend coming, and this could form another inverted, another head and shoulders to bring us down. Oh, I'm pretty sure I said something. I was a little too incognito. Gotcha. If you buy, tell us, then I will. I won't tell you when I buy. I'm sorry. I cannot do that. However, I generally will post like a red alert video. If there's a red alert video that says that it looks hella bullish or hella bearish, those are buy and sell indicators, okay? Red alert, okay? If you see a red alert video on TikTok, then, yeah, volume seems to be dropping, but that's just in the 1 minute, man. And when it's dropping, that's when you're trying to be buying. Everything right now is telling me that we're looking at a pump coming. But I'm going to wait to see what happens over the next couple days. Because if this is a head and shoulders, it will continue to move sideways. It just may pump up to like 210, and I'll only catch from like 210 to 230, 235, which is fine. I'd rather catch the middle than catch a big dump, you know? But usually, guys, I won't tell you whether to buy or sell. I never will do that. However, if I feel like there is an anticipation of a big movement in one direction or the other, I will post a red alert. So far, I've only posted one red alert. I think two. I posted one right here before we got the God candle right here. And then I posted the red alert before we dropped hard. You know, don't forget, if you make a bunch of money, to donate. Just kidding. But yeah, do send your donations, help support the show. When you send to Cash App or Venmo, it goes directly to me with no middleman, guys. And so that is the best way to give and donate. And you can send whatever amount you want. But if you do feel compelled to give to the show, send it directly and on Cash App or Venmo, or use the use the other service as well. That's fine. But just know that whatever you guys send to the Cash App or Venmo goes to pay the staff. I do have a journalist and fact checker that is going through the news. I have a stage crew building the new studio. I have an IT guy that's helping set up all the platforms and everything. You can add those. Message me about that, B, and how to do that, because I was trying to figure out that yesterday. I will 100% donate for advice that pays. Exactly, guys. But like I said, we have the stage crew building the set. We have all the materials going into that. I'm paying for out of pocket. I'm also making all the memes. I'm reading the charts all day long. I'm doing the show 5 hours a day. I'm editing the videos and posting them. I'm making all the price points, and mind you, that there's a lot of heavy toll and anxiety by posting the price points and red alert videos. it's your money too. So like, it's not just me. So I am like extra super careful, and there's a lot of anxiety that comes with doing all that. But I also want to make sure that everyone doesn't lose their freaking 401ks and pensions and retirements and their homes and stuff. So like, but sometimes it does feel like the weight of the world is on my shoulders. And on top of all of that, I'm also answering hundreds of messages every day. I get hundreds of messages. I'm helping people set up their wallets. I'm coaching them on how to day trade, how to long-term trade, everything. So there is a lot that I'm putting into the show. So everything that no anxiety for you guys, no FOMO for you guys. Let me handle it all and take on all that for you. However, that does come at a cost to me, not only me, but time away from my kids and things. But I feel like what I'm doing is important. But that's why I'm also taking a day off. When we first started this, guys, I was going live 7 hours a day, 7 days a week, because I felt like the message needed to get put out there, that it was important, that what I was doing was important. So, I do not make enough money doing this, that's for sure. I'm really not making anything. I'm bleeding out. But I want to make sure that my staff is making money and that I'm not forced to let anybody go, because that's another part, is I want to make sure that I don't hire somebody and then have to pull the rug from them, because there's a bit of an obligation there as well. So I do appreciate anything you give. But moving on. Is this some more moon cheese? Do we have more moon cheese? Trump's tariffs. What is this one? This was Bitcoin. Oh, I think this one popped up by accident. Yeah. All right, that was a spammer. Here we go. Here we go. Some more news. All right. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the show with your friends. Those of you who are on TikTok, don't forget to subscribe or follow us on Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lowercase, no spaces. All right. Consumer sentiment tumbles in April as inflation fears spike. University of Michigan survey shows. The University of Michigan Consumer Survey mid-month reading a sentiment fell to 50.8 down to 5.7. March Dow Jones estimated for 5.46. Respondents' expectations for inflation a year from now leaped to 6.7%, the highest level since November 1981, and up from 5% in March.
Want a first look at market-moving trends and trades? Get tomorrow's big stock stories delivered to your inbox tonight when you subscribe to Stocks at Night, a free investing newsletter from CNBC. Sign up now at cnbc.com/stocks at night.
These are not pretty numbers on our April preliminary look on University of Michigan sentiment. On the headline number, 50.8. That's 3 points less than we were expecting. That's about 6.5 points under our last look, and that's the weakest since June of 22. 56.5 on current conditions. That's also extremely light, weakest since June of 22. Huge drop in expectations. 47.2. And on the inflation front, 6.7% on one-year inflation. That follows a 5%. That would be the highest since the Thanksgiving of 1981. 4.4 and 5 to 10-year inflation, that would be the highest since the summer of 91. Now, these are, of course, not quantified, but qualified. They're surveys. And we just had good data in CPI yesterday, PPI today. But these are the worst fears, obviously, of those surveyed. And they really do underscore some of the underlying emotion that is in the marketplace to put forth these types of numbers. Right now, we're hovering at 452, 453 on a 10-year. And do keep in mind, it settled at 4% last week, a huge move, although it still hasn't challenged its high-yield close of the year in January. Sarah, back to you.
Okay, Rick, thank you very much.
Yes, we're looking for our
So yeah, inflation is up, and what you need to take from that, the information that you need about inflation is that with inflation going up the way it is, war's not ending, tariffs in effect, us sending money to Ukraine still, no end to that war in sight, us sending money to Israel, and I believe we're sending money to Gaza as well. Okay, we're sending money all over the place, funding both sides of every war. I don't think we're funding Russia, though, but we're sending money to Taiwan, I think, too, or at least we were. And all of that equals printed money. Inflation, inflation, inflation. Yeah, it definitely needs to stop, but it isn't. Trump said he was going to stop it, and he didn't. He did it for like, a few weeks, and then it's all back on the table. So inflation is going crazy. Inflation's going crazy. And what that means, guys, with inflation being like that, that means that interest rates are probably not going to drop in May. Interest rates are probably not going to drop. So everyone's saying that, interest rates are going to drop and then the markets are going to boom, guys. I don't see it happening. Yeah, they may go up. Exactly. Interest rates will probably go up, if not stay the same. Fed official signals they are more worried about inflation than slow growth. Okay. And literally the Fed came out and stated when Jerome Powell spoke last, he stated that the only thing that was going to get them to lower interest rates was if there was an unemployment crisis. And the other day we read about the unemployment in March, that the amount of jobs that were added to the market were more than double what they expected. So there's not even close to a unemployment problem. Okay? We have an inflation problem, and the Fed will stick with that. I think they'll raise it.
Fed officials signal they are more worried about inflation than slow growth. By Greg Robb. April 11th, 2025, 7:04 a.m. Eastern Time. Several Federal Reserve officials in separate speeches Thursday expressed the view that the U.S. Central Bank needs to make sure to throw a wet blanket over inflation expected to result from higher tariffs. While the Fed can't stop the initial burst of inflation, officials said they need to make sure inflation doesn't spread or the public will come to expect higher prices for their everyday necessities. In the Fed's thinking, once that happens, the battle against inflation is lost. I intend to keep my eyes squarely focused on the outlook for inflation, said Kansas City Fed President Jeffrey Schmid, a voting member of the Fed's interest rate committee this year, in a speech to a finance group. At a research conference, Dallas Fed President Lori Logan stressed, it will be important to keep any tariff-related price increases from fostering more persistent inflation. Fed officials spoke after President Donald Trump's tariff plan was announced, which despite all the twists and turns on Wednesday, resulted in boosting the U.S. effective tariff rate to 27%, the highest since 1903. To hear the full story, subscribe or sign in.
All right, guys. So, yeah, interest rates are not coming down. Yeah, I'm having a little bit of an issue figuring out Twitch. However, it is a much better platform as far as being censored. So that's why we're using it. I have more freedom to say what I want to say without any recourse. So I do apologize for the learning curve for those of you that have switched to Twitch. However, it's necessary. It's necessary. We have to get away from the TikTok addiction. A lot of people know that we are moving and still continue. They'll watch on Twitch for a little while, and then they'll jump back to TikTok because it's that addicting that they can't watch the show somewhere else because the TikTok, the way it works, it's just very addicting. So they have a hard time moving away from the platform. That's why we are doing it slowly over time because a lot of people just can't cold turkey it. Maybe we should have a anonymous meeting for TikTok's Anonymous. And I say that somewhat facetiously and joking. However, it's a real thing, guys. That's why they want to remove TikTok in the United States because it can be used as a weapon. It's being used as a weapon in the market now to literally drain everybody financially in XRP. TikTok is a weapon. They could literally assemble large masses of people to march on a building or go to some random judge's house to sway a verdict, anything. It's very dangerous. It's very dangerous. And I think it's important that we understand that we move away from the platform. Yeah, and you know what? This weekend, guys, I'm probably going to be playing some Call of Duty. So if you want to come join me for some Call of Duty, if you want to squad up with me, let's play some Call of Duty. Can't stop watching the fainting goat videos. Oh, you guys are funny. I love it. Some of y'all be sending me like goat memes and stuff. It's hilarious. I love it. The whole goat thing. So today I was in the studio working with the studio guys, and they're laying carpet and stuff right now, right? And putting up like the soundproofing in the walls. And I was helping move a roll of carpet. And I pulled my back and I was laying on the floor. And I was bawling like a goat. I was just like, I threw out my back. The goat thing is just a thing now. I'm the goat everywhere I go. By the way, I also am going to be having somebody design like a logo for us and like some t-shirts and stickers and stuff to put on mugs. Censored by TikTok. Thank you for the 3 lightning bolts. So I am going to be making merchandise. So you guys will be able to get your goat stickers and mugs and things like that, t-shirts, hoodies, so that way you can wear them around. And, people will ask you, what is that? And you tell them about the show and you can help them along their way, to spread the word. So I will be making some merchandise, some goat merchandise. I do I'm trying to figure it out. I want to get a goat stuffed animal that you guys can buy, and then when you squeeze it, it does the goat thing where I go, "Mah." So it'll be my voice. So when you squeeze the goat, you hear my voice. I do want to get those made. Definitely will at least have like a goat plushie that you guys can get. Little baby goats. I think it'll be fun. TikTok, censored by TikTok. Thank you for the 4 lightning bolts. Appreciate it very much. And don't forget, guys, if you are watching on TikTok, we are on Twitch now. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lower cases, no spaces. I do think it's really funny how I just fell into the goat thing. And honestly, it's an honor to be considered a goat. I considered myself more or less an amateur, and some of you guys have told me that like I was like, oh, top analysts are saying this, and people said you are a top analyst. That means a lot to me because I do work really hard at this, but that affirmation also helps keep me going. So I do appreciate all that, guys. You are amazing. And it feels good to feel professional doing this, not having a camera pointed at a screen, having, good audio. And guys, don't forget, if you want to donate to the show, click the link there or send it to my Cash App or Venmo. Let's take one last look at the chart before we go. But it looks like we're pretty much in consolidation, just as we were. Not much is changing. As you can see, it's pretty much flat line here, guys. Pretty much a flat line. Obviously, you can make it look like it's moving crazy. We'll probably start pushing up, but this looks like, to me, that pattern, I'm going to say I feel like the bullish push is coming, guys. I don't play that much Call of Duty anymore because their anti-cheat has gotten bad. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. The cheating on Call of Duty is terrible. HD Malicious, thank you for the goats. Zodiac, thank you for the GGs. I play Call of Duty because I enjoy it, but I also play Apex. I play some Fortnite. Yeah, we'll see. I don't even know how to do a lot of things. Like, I don't know how to crouch with the keyboard yet. I'm still learning so much by playing with a keyboard. So if we do play, yes, that is my first name. That's why it's Austin. So, if we look at I think it's the 30-minute. 30-minute looks like a cup and handle. Okay. When I play build mode in Fortnite, I use the Azeron. I don't even know what you're talking about because, like, I don't even build in Fortnite. I just run around and shoot people. So I don't even know how to build. But as far as in the 30-minute, looks like a cup and handle to me. And then on top of it, look at, this is that inverted head and shoulders with the double bottom head, which emulates in the 1 hour the exact same thing here. So I do feel like that's going to play out. We're at 201. I would say probably $2 is the buy point. I have a feeling that people are expecting the Sunday dump, so it's going to do the opposite. It's just a keyboard and mouse, except all the keys are at your fingertips. Google search it and you'll like it. I'll look into it. I just have so much going on. It's going to be nice to have the weekend to just play some Call of Duty on Twitch. I've been wanting to do it since I started the Twitch live. However, I didn't want to do it until we got affiliate because I didn't want people to not be watching and it ruin my stats. But now that we're affiliate, we can do all that stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And if you guys want to squad up and play with me, I'll put on my headset. We'll chat crypto. We'll do all the good stuff, guys. So I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see you guys there, and have a great weekend, guys. Hopefully we make some money in the next couple days. $2 is the entry. I'm not saying that yet. I'm going to watch it. However, according to the charts right now was when you would buy. However, don't do it just yet. This is also emulating a Head and Shoulders, which could bring us down to, 190 and break structure. So let's watch and wait. I would say I'd wait for, 210 to buy. Why be greedy? Catch between 210 and 230, 235 and get out. You wait for the red alert. Yeah. And mind you, if you're always waiting for the red alert, you may miss them because sometimes they happen at 3 a.m, or I'm asleep and I miss it too. So just be careful of that. Just understand that's why we go live and we're talking about this, but be paying attention to the charts this week. If we continue to consolidate sideways, we should push up. If we drop down and then move back up, I would say that we'll form a double bottom and move back up. Either way, I feel like it wants to move up to 235. I think 230, but even as high as 240. But I do not. If it goes past 247, guys, expect to see 260 to 280. Okay, but I don't think it'll go past 247. It'll take news to do something like that. But keep an eye, guys. We do look bullish in the short term. Just for right now, there is money to be made. But here's the thing is, you guys can't always catch the very tip, okay? And you can't always catch the very top, but we can catch the middle. And I'm sure a lot of you bought at 163 and sold at $2, okay? And if you held on to it at 163, there's a potential to keep going up. But there's also the potential to drop down. So hopefully you took some profits if you're not selling all of it. Just pay attention. This is going to be a crucial week. You're going to either it's either going to make or break XRP this week, okay? If we break down from here and break past 163, expect capitulation and for us to drop into low zones, okay? Those low zones, I'll go over them one more time before the end here. Low zones are 155 to like 130, and if you want to roll the dice, 125 to 120. Okay? You missed it? That's all right. A lot of you got it though, and don't worry, there will be more, okay? But at least now you trust me, right? Don't trust me too much. All of this is speculation. But you bought 164 and sold at $2. Good for you. Good for you. Hopefully that was because of me. But if you did it on your own, that's good too. But I hope I was able to point you in the right direction. That is the point. But we've got a bull flag. We've got a cup and handle. We've got an inverted head and shoulders. Everything is pointing to upward movement, but it could be a bull trap. Okay? We are moving into the weekend. So be careful. Don't eat the moon cheese. Make safe, smart trades. Wait for the breakout. We are still in consolidation. Wait for that breakout up to 210 or higher. Okay, or that breakdown between 190 or lower. Okay? Depending on if you're putting in a short or a long. Okay? Make smart moves, smart trades, guys. Don't always try to catch the tip. If you always try to catch the tip, you're going to get fucked. All right? Excuse my language. But if you think you're just going to get the tip, you're going to get fucked. You're waiting for the red alert, if not next time. Okay, but don't always just rely on me, guys. Do it on your own, too. Watch the charts. Try to notice those breakouts. Try to identify them. And if you feel like you're noticing that breakout, send me a message. You know, and maybe if, you know, I do sleep sometimes, you know, but I'm here to help you guys learn. So if you're a deluxe subscriber and you're trying to learn how to do these trades and you think that you're calling a breakout, send me a message and I'll say, I don't think we're quite yet. That's why I haven't posted a red alert. Or I'll say, oh, good job. I'm going to post the red alert right now. And then you get that pat on the back on the next live. Don't know how to even see a chart like that? Don't worry, you will. It's never just the tip. You always get the long shaft. Okay? So we're just trying to stroke the middle here, guys. We're not trying to work the tip. Let's just say I buy now and it's kind of a stop loss. Would you recommend? Stop loss at 180, 185, 190. I don't use stop losses, so I wouldn't know. I mean, not that I wouldn't know. I mean, I just generally don't use stop losses because I'm usually right. And if I am wrong, I'm watching when I'm in the market. So I don't like to use stop losses. Have a good night. But I'm not recommending you guys don't use stop losses. I'm very advanced at trading. Okay. Even guys like Mega use stop losses. Okay. I don't use them because I'm very advanced. You work all the time, don't have the luxury to watch. Exactly. I have that luxury. So when I'm in it, I'm either in smart money and I don't even have to worry about it, or I'm in it to win it and I'm making these trades in here. I'm not going to sleep because I suffer from insomnia. I would say, and we went over it earlier, I would say probably put your stop loss at like 186 to 180. You decide. I'd say 187 to 180. That would be your stop loss. But remember, it could fall all the way to 163, 160, and double bottom and bounce back up and still do the same pattern it's doing now. Honestly, despite the news, I still feel very bullish right now. Okay. I don't think a stop loss is very necessary. I think we're on the 1 day chart. You have days to watch it play out. All right. But you know, This is your money. I'm not going to tell you what to do. You set your stop losses, but I stopped doing stop losses because, man, I'd set them and then it would just hit, and then, oh man, it would rebound right after my stop loss would kick in. So I don't use stop losses because of that, because I figure if it's going to waterfall down, I'm going to know it, because it's going to be something really big and crazy, and big waterfalls like this don't happen every night. It's never just the tip. What is that, B? You clipped it? What? How do I if it's clipped, will that show in my like when people go to my page, it'll just show it? What does it mean when you clipped it? So it's like saved in my page? Oh, nice. Nice. Thank you, dude. I appreciate you so much. Everyone, a round of applause for B, an emoji for B, a heart for B, some kind of love for B. He has put in a lot of work for this show for free. And I'll tell you what, any donations that are sent today, well, not all of them. I'll tell you what, 50% of all donations sent today, I will donate to B's channel. 50% of any donations. Nope, I already said it. I'm doing it. 50% of any donations sent today will go to B's channel to help raise awareness for PTSD, for first responders, military, and suicide awareness. Okay? So 50% of all of your donations that are sent today will go to B to support his community. So let's see what we can raise for our troops for suicide awareness. Everything I make on my channel goes to Save a Warrior. There you go. So anything donated today will go towards B's nonprofit of choosing. He's chosen saveawarrior.org. So 50% of anything you send today will be going to help our first responders, our men and women of the military, and those, not only those of the military, but those who are suffering from PTSD, and to help with suicide awareness, guys. So, and if you can't give, go and follow his show, or tell someone that may need that help to reach out to him as a shoulder to cry on, someone to talk to, and hopefully he can help or point them in the right direction. But we need to come together as a community to help each other and uplift one another. It's the program that saved my life. I was on the verge of ending it all. Man, I'm glad that you're here. I appreciate it. Yeah, Guinea Marie also deals with PTSD as well. So thank you guys. I do appreciate it. This is why I took a year off from streaming to work the program. Good for you, man. Good for you. My hobby is training service dogs at the prison for PTSD too. Oh, that's awesome. Wow, we have quite a community here, man. And I'll tell you, everyone here I've noticed has love for one another. peace, love, unity, and respect. And, you know, we even have different political views and difference of opinions, and we've chosen not to hate each other because of our differences. And that's another thing that I'm trying to normalize with this show that we're doing, is that we don't have to hate each other because we have a difference of opinions, and that's the way it should be. Yeah, no hate at all. Yeah, we can dislike things, we can have differences of opinions, but just because our opinions are different, we all bleed red, okay? We all bleed red, and we have a diverse background, but also we have a large community from all over the globe, not just the United States, but reaching to all ends of the earth. Poly boys, no go up or down. You talking about XRP? I think we're gonna go up, but we have to wait for a breakout. But thank you all, and remember, all donations that are sent today will go, 50% of it will go to Bees, what was it again? SaveAwarrior.org. So 50% of all donations will go to SaveAwarrior.org today to help first responders and veterans with PTSD and suicide awareness. So please, if you do give, today would be the day to do it. I'm going to be donating 50% to be. Use that link I gave you, Oz. Yeah, is that where you want me to send it to, directly to it? If you don't use PayPal, you can send it directly to the Venmo or Cash App. Okay, so anything that comes in, I will just send it directly to Save a Warrior. All right. Thank you, B. I appreciate you. So 50% of whatever comes in today from donations will be going to send the Venmo, just the Venmo. Awesome. Thank you very much. So 50% of that will be going to the Save a Warrior Fund, SaveAwarrior.org. And for those of you on TikTok, if you want to donate to the Cash App, that's $Aussie 122.33 504. OZZY 122.33 504. And the Cash App is at OZZY 122.33 504. Someone on TikTok said, all I do is fish for money. And I do ask for you guys to give, because we are building something here. So it takes money to make money. And we have to work together for this community. But you know what? If you are salty about it, then you don't have to give. You can just watch, and you can make money by watching. But obviously everyone watching here is trying to make money. So I don't understand what that's all about. We're trying to build a community here. And that's why I'm giving 50% to Bee's community as well for today. But no, I'm not trying to fish for money. I'm trying to build something. That's why I've invested over $15,000 into something that I've made $1,000 from. Okay. Because I want to provide you guys with something amazing. I want to build a community. I want to stop people from being spoon-fed moon cheese. I want to stop our servicemen and women from ending it all, and from suffering with PTSD. My father was in the Navy, and he suffers from severe PTSD, and it's crippled our family. And he does not deal with it. He refuses to acknowledge it. So there needs to be awareness. There needs to be help. So if you want to hate on that, then you don't belong in this channel. Last 4 phone number? What do you mean asking for the past 4 phone number? Your phone number or my phone number? Your Venmo wants your last 4 phone number. Really? Nobody else wanted that. 1934. That's weird because people sent it to me before and it, yeah, or you can use the link in the page. Exactly, guys. If you use the link in the page, you're not using PayPal. You just put in your card information and it automatically sends it. Okay, you guys can skip it, but I sent it to you anyway, just in case. I really don't want to be giving out my phone number. Somebody offered to pay me $100 a month just for my phone number so I could be on call. And I was like, yeah, I can't do that. I was like, I'd have to get a separate line, you know, for $100 a month just for that phone line. And then it'd be ringing off the hook all the time. I was like, not worth it. Remember, guys, 50% of donations will be given to saveawarrior.org. Thank you. Poway Walk, you sent 200? Really? Oh. I thought you said... Oh, he wants me on call for 200. Yeah, I'll tell you what. For $1,000 a month, I will let 5 people. I will let 5 people have me on call. It's not worth it to me, man. I want to have some time with my family. But I might consider it. But no, I don't really want to do all that. But I mean, money's money. If you were to give me successful trades, that is worth it. 12-hour window for half. Do you want the subscriber highlight on or off the chat? I don't know. I guess on. Is it on there? Yeah, let's leave the subscriber highlight. Is it taking up the whole space? Let me see. Let me move ground control. I don't see it. Yeah, I think when people subscribe, they should get some recognition for it. Let people know they've joined the community. But my IT guy handles all that stuff. I'm trying to do less of that and focus more on the show. Do the fact checking, read the charts, make the videos. I like to do the creative side of it. I mean, I guess that's kind of creative, but you know, I want to create the logos. I want to make the memes. I want to do the show. You're able to do it more as a mod? Nice. Yeah, I think we'll just leave it at what it is for now, and if we decide to change it, we'll change it. If you think, I think people should be celebrated for their subscriptions and things like that. and the things that they give and send, you know? And, you know, I think if you want to give, you know, donations anonymously, that's cool. But if you want me to shout them out too, I'll shout them out. Because basically everything you donate is going to someone else. It's not going to me. It's going to the staff. It's going to something for the show. You know what I mean? It's not going to me. And today, 50% of everything you send is going to saveawarrior.org. Yes, I do too. I have mine on. Yeah. All right, guys, it's 8:46. I'm going to end it early because it's a Friday night and we all know what's coming. Probably the dump, but the charts say everything bullish, so keep an eye on it. Thank you all. I will double check. I'm pretty sure I got the money, but I am live on TikTok as well at the same time. It looks like I got it. No. I don't know. Let me check. Wow. For the first time in over a week, I finally turned a profit on TikTok. After going live for 4.5 hours, I made a whopping 37 cents. And that's only because people sent roses. Let me double check. Yes, I got 2 donations. One from Avi and one from Virginia. Thank you very much for your donations, guys. Thank you very much. No, oh, sorry. I didn't say the whole name. I don't know who's who, you know, so, but yeah, so thank you to all of you who donated. Thank you very much. I'm trying not to dox anybody. Do you want me to say how much the amounts are for? All right, we'll keep it anonymous then. Thank you for your very generous donations. Thank you all. Both of you. I think we may have got a Venmo too. Let me make sure that everybody gets some recognition here. Oh yeah, we got a Venmo too. But it doesn't say who. Thank you guys. Wow, such generous donations today. Wow, that's amazing. And half of all of that is going to the Save a Warrior Fund. Thank you all very much. I appreciate you. I got to do the math on what it is that comes in, but it's going to be a hefty donation. Wow, you guys are freaking amazing. I'm glad I decided to do that. Wow. Thank you guys. All right, I'm going to go enjoy my weekend, go get in the hot tub and splash some water in my kids' faces. All right, have a good night. Thank you all for your support of this show and for supporting our first responders and veterans. We love them just as much. And even if you're from another country and, you know, we love each other and we don't want anyone to suffer. All right, thank you all. Have a good night.